What's going on, my fellow A-Plusers? Welcome back once again to a brand new episode of A-Plus Morphinominal, your weekly stop for your Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman news and reviews right here on our YouTube page, going live every Saturday at noon Central Time. Guys, thank you so much for certainly joining us. It is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, and we're back once again, ladies and gentlemen, kicking off our weekend right as we're set to go ahead and bring you all the news that wind up dropping this week. And if I could be honest with you guys, pretty busy around here. I feel like as of yesterday, we wind up actually, or earlier this morning, I feel like we finally got ourselves an announcement onto a return date for Dino Fury. We're definitely going to be talking about that. We got some behind the scenes video in regards to a brand new villain that we could certainly look forward to. Hasbro Pulse Con 2021 is going to be here before we know it, guys. So we got a ton of stuff to certainly be talking with you guys today. So thank you very much. I got my coffee in hand. Should be a great show. We'll always be getting to your guys' live viewer questions towards the end of the episode. If you want to go ahead and submit your questions over at any time, you certainly can. Send them over to aplusmorphinominal@gmail.com. Again, aplusmorphinominal@gmail.com, and we'll definitely get to your questions towards the end of the episode. Just in case if I happen to overlook or miss your comments in the live chat with us today. So thank you very much, guys, for certainly coming through. I'm looking at all my notes, and I feel like all my notes are all over the place. There's literally a ton of Power Ranger content for us to definitely talk about today. Not so heavy on the tokusatsu stuff, but if you're big Power Ranger fans, you guys might want to go ahead and stick around for majority of the episode. So kick back, relax. Hopefully you've had your breakfast, your coffee, and get to enjoy the ride today. Quick shout outs to everybody that's certainly coming through today. We got Johnny in the house. Thank you very much, Johnny, coming through. Adam Perea, he says, I'm back, my twin. Good to see you, man. Thank you very much for certainly coming through. We got Enrique Perez, certainly making his presence felt. Thank you very much. We got Frankie in the house. JB says, what? Is here also. Wish you stayed around, man. Hopefully, if you got some time later, definitely pop back in. We got Power Rangers Legacy. It's morphin' time. Thank you very much for coming through today. Power Rangers ready as always. I'm assuming that might be AJ. The A Games 10 is certainly in here also. Marcelino Vasquez is certainly in here also. We got Blossom in the house. Indy joining us today. Was not expecting that, Indy. Thank you very much for certainly coming through. Let's see here. Who else we got? Harka. Thank you very much, Harka. I feel like that's a brand new face around here, guys. So certainly make Harka feel welcome and part of the family. And Edward Sanchez Productions is in the house. And of course, I'm sure we'll get some stragglers that wind up dropping in sort of last minute. But if anything, definitely go ahead and make them feel welcome, guys, as we bring in yet another week of A-Plus More Phenomenal. Let's see here. We got, Emmanuel. What's up, Emmanuel? Appreciate you popping in here also. Couple of tidbits that you guys should be aware of. If you guys were interested in some other tokusatsu series as well, Dino Vader from the adult themed company and Studio Giga, I believe, just dropped their first episode over on their YouTube page today, or as of yesterday. I think the first episode's like 13 minutes, so definitely go ahead and give it a shot. I'm gonna be waiting for the English subtitles to actually come out a little bit more clearly, but if anything, they're pretty short episodes, so we'll probably do Dino Vader reviews for you guys here on the channel. If anything, maybe earlier in the week, even though the episodes drop on Friday. So if anything, we'll probably have something along the lines for you there. Over on our Patreon, we certainly have in fact started our reaction videos for Deca Ranger. I've been knocking them out already. I've watched the first 4 episodes. So if anything, again, come September 7th, I believe, for our YouTube page, that's when we're going to be dropping the Deca Ranger reaction videos for you. But if you want to go ahead and get a jump start on it, we do have those available already over on our Patreon page. But other than that, guys, I think if anything, how many topics do we have today? Let me look through this. 1, 2, 3. Got some photos, which I was not expecting to see in here. Some Dino Fury photos for some upcoming episodes we'll be talking about. So Yeah, there's like seven, maybe eight-ish topics. We'll see how quickly we can certainly get through this. But I guess if anything, guys, I'll actually start because of the fact that this news came earlier on today. I actually did not have the opportunity to go ahead and create an overlay for it. Like that's how sort of last minute this news was this week. But I guess you can say breaking news, breaking news. I need like a graphic to kind of come crashing in. One of the things that we've been talking about, guys, for quite some time is speculating as to exactly when Power Rangers Dino Fury would in fact be returning, right? We've been seeing a ton of sort of return dates, but unfortunately for a lot of international markets like France and the UK and things like that, I believe Pop, if I'm not mistaken, is supposed to start showing episodes of Dino Fury, I think beginning like September 1st or September 8th. And it's really had a ton of people questioning, when are we going to get the opportunity to see it here in the States? Are we going to be seeing it on Nickelodeon? Are we going to be seeing it on Netflix? Well, I can tell you this much, guys. It seems as though Nickelodeon is getting back on the horse and at least is going to be dropping some of the episodes that we've certainly have seen already beginning this September, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and bring this up to you because this does come to us directly from the A Games 10, who I know is probably in our live chat. I am kind of curious. I know I've seen this format of the imaging before, but I'm trying to remember where you got this from. If it's like the cable, is it the cable TV thing, the couch TV, or I can't remember the site that you said that you usually get your stuff from. But he's utilized it several times with some great information that usually tends to come through. So according to this tweet from the A Games 10, he says, let me say something here. My guesstimate is correct. Power Rangers Dino Fury returns from its TV hiatus September 18th on Nickelodeon. And you can see the graphic down here as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you here, as he does have, in fact, the last newest episode that we wind up getting on Nickelodeon was April 17th, which was episode 8, Unexpected Guest. And starting September 18th, Dino Fury episode number 9, even though we've seen it before, Cut Off will in fact be actually coming to Nickelodeon. So it seems as though they're probably going to be getting episodes 9, 10, and 11. And then it does put up to the assumption here that episode 12, a brand new episode, should be airing October 9th on Nickelodeon as well. Now, whether or not that means Nickelodeon is going to be showcasing episode 12 first. Who knows if Netflix might come in the week before and be like, hey, before episode 12 drops on Nickelodeon, maybe we'll have it for you available on Netflix. Who certainly knows? But there is a part of me that thinks that if Nickelodeon is coming back with these episodes beginning episode 9, I almost fully expect them at this point to play episode 12 on Nickelodeon first as the first viewing here in the States on October 9th. And then maybe once that particular season winds up wrapping up on Nickelodeon, then if anything, maybe we can count on Netflix to then finish off the remainder of the season for us. Again, that's just speculation on my part, but I am very much under the impression that when it comes to brand new Dino Fury episodes, again, Nickelodeon is back from its hiatus September 18th, according to this from the A Games 10. And then if you just count the other weeks up until episode 12, that in fact would land us at October 9th. But listen, it's still Power Month around here, right? So who's to say we don't get ourselves a crazy sort of announcement from Netflix or Hasbro or the Power Rangers Twitter account saying, hey, check out episode 12 real quick on Netflix on this day before it comes back. But again, I am very much under the impression that if you are coming back with episodes on Nickelodeon, you might as well just continue to air out the remainder of this season, especially since we're getting close towards the end of the 2021 year, which would thus wrap up the contract that we've had with Saban and Nickelodeon for quite some time. The Dino Fury cast has already mentioned the idea that season 2 is going to be moving over to Netflix. If anything, I fully expect the second half of season 1 to be on Netflix at some point in time, hopefully by the end of this year. They haven't really announced to us yet as to when season 2 is going to be kicking off on Netflix. So we definitely still have that to look forward to. But I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think here. You see the return dates for Nickelodeon, September 18th, episode that we've already reviewed reviewed. Heck, if anything, maybe we'll blast that review one more time everywhere on social media for people to go ahead and rewatch our episode review, since we just talked about it when we got the opportunity to do it when they had the episodes for Netflix. I'm assuming also, if anything, even though the international markets will be getting brand new episodes. I mean, we just literally did like an episode 14 preview for you guys earlier on this week with some big news, but we'll definitely talk about that further here for you guys. So if anything, maybe there will be a case of some international spoilers. I'm not expecting there to be too many, but you guys know how we do around here. I'm not really one for big spoilers, so I usually will close my eyes, put my blinders on. I might even at some point in time put a little no spoilers warning, please, on one of these overlays here, just to kind of keep you guys posted in regards to this. But again, this was information that literally dropped early this morning, if I'm not mistaken, or late evening. Yeah, it says almost 9 p.m. yesterday evening. By that time, my stream was already set to go. So I was really thrilled that we wind up getting some information in regards to when we can expect it. So I want to know from you guys, are you hyped that Nickelodeon finally is going to be coming back with Dino Fury? Do you expect episode 12 to air on Nickelodeon first? I'm certainly leaning that way, but I'm all for changing of plans, if you will. But I definitely want to know what you guys think in regards to that also. So let your thoughts be known in the live chat or the comment section box below, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like there was one more thing that I was going to say in regards to that, and I feel like I've kind of lost it right now. Let's see here. What are some of you guys saying up in the chat room? Let me go ahead and bring up some of your comments. Adam Pereira says, do you think Netflix will be shafted for the rest of season 1 of Dino Fury? I don't want to call it shafted. I mean, understand, we do have a contract. Saban does have a contract with Nickelodeon. So it wouldn't make sense for me if Hasbro is trying to at least finish off their season with Nickelodeon first, who they're contractually obligated to certainly do so. Netflix, I would assume, based off of there already being a contract in place, I don't want to say it's playing second fiddle. Eventually, it will be the primary location, but I believe right now there is a ton of confusion going on with the switching, if you will. Like, as much, listen, and this might be unpopular opinion, as much as I loved the idea that Netflix wind up dropping episodes 9 through 11 for us, it was a great teaser and a little bit of an appetizer to hold us over until these shows came back. There's a part of me that almost wished that they didn't air those episodes, just to stop stop the confusion that so many fans certainly have, right? Is it coming to Nickelodeon first? Is it coming to Netflix? When's season 1 of Netflix going to be dropping, sort of thing? So I wouldn't say that they've been shafted, because I do believe by the end of this season, or by the end of 2021, or at least maybe by January or so, I almost fully expect Dino Fury season 1 to be completely up on Netflix, because I do think they probably want to get a little bit of ahead of themselves before season 2 winds up dropping on Netflix, to make sure you've got all the episodes there. So if anybody wants to kind of catch up to the season and then just start watching Dino Fury on Netflix, they certainly can. So I think, if anything, this probably plays itself out correctly, in the sense that Nickelodeon, who does have that contractual agreement, gets most of the episodes first, and then eventually they'll be made available to Netflix. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The A Game said, he says it's from Futon Critic. I always say Couch TV. I don't know why Futon Critic. Yeah, and I always feel like when he gets his information from Futon Critic, their stuff is usually always spot on. So I'm always going to go with those dates that he certainly provides there. Power Rangers Ready says, I already love Dino Fury. Said this millions of times, so I'll still binge episodes 9 through 11 on Netflix when Nick winds up airing them. Who else we got? We got Isaiah in the house. Thank you very much, Isaiah, coming through. Emmanuel says, oh, I appreciate you coming through, Emmanuel. Thank you very much. Rangers of Wrestling in here. Is that Datilla? Datilla, you hit me up on two of your channels. What's up, Datilla? Good to see you in here. Who else we got? Sarav's in the house. Thank you very much, Sarav. Nato, a little bit off topic, but when do you think we can see Power Ranger movie news? Probably at Hasbro PulseCon. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Isaiah says, do you think Netflix is going to be the first one to be uploading episode 12 on Power Rangers Dino Fury? Listen, Power Month has not finished yet, right? Like we got ourselves maybe a little bit of a over a half a week certainly left. Do I think there's a possibility? Absolutely. I think it would be great if Netflix, wanted to be like, listen, before Power Month, let's give you at least one more episode for you to enjoy. I don't necessarily think they're going to give us all of season 1 before Nick airs it, but I do think there's a possibility that episode 12 drops. And I'm kind of, I will say this, if we don't get an announcement for episode 12 in Power Month, then I think if anything, episode 12 will probably air first on Nickelodeon. If I had to be a betting man, that's what I would certainly say. I could certainly be proven wrong. I'm just saying, though, if I had to speculate in regards to it, if there is an announcement in Power Month for Netflix, then we'll probably see it first. But if no announcement in Power Month, it might come onto Nickelodeon first. But again, I'm assuming here. DHR2. Nick said he says Nick is such a shitty home for Power Rangers. End of story. No, absolutely agree with you. But contracts are important. People you should still certainly live by your contracts, regardless of how business is being run there. So Rob says, looks like Netflix didn't anticipate something like this happening. Again, guys, I almost feel like what Netflix is providing for us is bonus. I don't necessarily wouldn't say that Netflix didn't anticipate something like this. I don't think Netflix is expecting anything, at least until their exclusive rights wind up happening for 2022 when it comes to Dino Fury season 2. So I don't believe that they were in anticipation of anything. I mean, I would assume they keeping clearly close contact with Hasbro, so they have an idea of when episodes are supposed to be dropping. I almost feel like episodes 9 through 11 was like a thank you to the fans, or like a tease of what Netflix is going to be providing for you guys. So I wouldn't say that Netflix has been robbed or this blindsided them. No, I think there's a full understanding behind the scenes that, listen, season 2 is all yours, Netflix. Whatever you get before then is just a little bit of a bonus. Appets. What's up, Appets Ben? Appreciate you coming through. He says, hello, Adam. Do you have a minute to spare? Can you show the full design t-shirt you're wearing now? Yeah, right now. This is a classic one that I've had for quite some time. I can't remember when I got this though. This is a traditional Megazord here. I believe they had a couple other ones. I think there was another shirt out there that was like this, but it was the Green Ranger. I think it was the Dragon Zord, and I believe they made another one for the Tiger Zord. I could be wrong. I felt like there was like a 3 parts to that though. The A Games 10 is here today. He says, I feel like next week is Dino Fury week based on a certain Dino Fury related promo that aired on Pop UK this morning. Basically, it was 6 Rangers saying they're celebrating Power Rangers Day. Oh, interesting. It definitely could be themed that way. I feel like this week was themed like ninja themed or like ninjutsu themed. We'll definitely talk about it here for sure. Isaiah says, or do you think, oh, wait, hold on. Did I miss your question? Oh, that was a connection part to it. Or do you think Nickelodeon will be the first one to upload episode 12 of Power Rangers? So yeah, I believe Nickelodeon will probably drop it first unless there is an announcement during this week. Thank you, Blossom. I appreciate it. All right, guys. So yeah, definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts. Are you excited at least that when it comes to Dino Fury, it is in fact going to be back for September 18th for you guys, and then starting in October. We'll begin ourselves episode number 12. So it's going to be great. Before we know it, here we're going to be getting brand new episodes, so I'm eager to kind of see how the remainder of this season goes, guys. All right, and with that topic out of the way, again, that was actually like a breaking news. That wasn't even something I had planned on really discussing here this week because of the fact that there was just so much confusion going on as to when we're going to be getting episodes. So shout out to the A Games 10 for coming through with Futon Critic, I believe. Yeah, I'm about to say Couch TV again. So appreciate it, Futon. Thanks for coming through. But the next topic, guys, that we're going to be getting into was, in fact, a brand new announcement. It's pretty funny. Somebody actually tweeted me in a message that was asking me earlier this week if I knew when Hasbro PulseCon was going to be dropping or where there was going to be new movie news. And one of the things that I said was, if anything, I probably expect it to be at the Hasbro PulseCon. While they've announced it, they haven't necessarily given us a release date. And so I said that very early on in the week. But lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, Hasbro has in fact released a release date for their upcoming Hasbro PulseCon 2021. On their website, up until this week, it had previously just been stating coming soon, with no real sort of official date as to what we can expect. I was definitely under the assumption that it was just going to be a one-day event. Boy, was I wrong. It seems as though Hasbro is coming out strong. They've got a ton of content and IP to certainly discuss, from G.I. Joe to Transformers to Ghostbusters to Power Rangers, Dungeons and Dragons. 2 days worth of convention coverage for you guys, as Hasbro tends to not pull back any punches when it comes to it. So let's go ahead and discuss these release dates, guys. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up for you. This actually comes to us from the actual official Hasbro Pulse Twitter page. Should I put on this? You know what? Hold on one moment here. Let me go ahead and pull this back up here. Share this audio from this tweet. I haven't had the chance to even listen to the audio for this myself, so I want to see how hyped up they're going to get me. But it does say Hasbro PulseCon is back and bigger than ever. You're invited to Hasbro Pulse 2021, streaming to a computer, phone, tablet screen near you this October 22nd and 23rd. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull up the what is this? October 22nd and 23rd. That's a Friday and a Saturday, guys. So mark your calendars, and it says, and stay tuned to HasbroPulseCon.com for the latest updates. So again, October 22nd and the 23rd, which will be a Friday and a Saturday. Let's see what they're talking about. Here we go. Is it not a... volume? Here we go. 2 epic days. First and foremost, shout out to Jackie Jennings, who's coming back to be doing the hosting, and she's got a co-host this time. I don't recall her having a co-host last time. If you guys recall that, please let me know. But this should be fun, man. Your favorite bands. They're gonna have like live performances too, or maybe not live performance, but pre-recorded. I believe last time that I think about it, I believe that they were actually doing it live. Whether or not they're going to be doing that live here also, who certainly knows. But they're not holding back, guys. Hasbro Pulse 2020, Hasbro PulseCon 2021 is certainly going to be here. And if I could be honest with you guys, I had a blast last year. I thought they did such a hell of a job with the presentation alone last year for this, to where I'm pretty pumped to kind of see what they have in store for us here. They did go ahead and actually send out a press release too. So let me go ahead and read this to you. It says, presenting fans with the best in entertainment and toys, Hasbro PulseCon will showcase programming based on its iconic fan brands, including G.I. Joe, Magic the Gathering, Nerf, Power Rangers, Transformers, and Dungeons and Dragons, along with premier partner Star Wars, Marvel, Ghostbusters, Fortnite, and more. Jackie Jennings, a Sci-Fi Wire on-air correspondent, writer, producer, returns to PulseCon to co-host the popular culture celebration and joins new host Cleo Thomas, actor, influencer, artist, entrepreneur. It features special guest stars. Special guest appearances, including the cast of Power Rangers Dino Fury, as well as to get fans excited for the show's highly anticipated return this fall. Russell Curry, Kai Moya, Hunter Deno, Tessa Rao, Chance Perez, and Jordan Fight. So we're getting all 6 Rangers here. So again, this is going to be October 22nd and the 23rd. Again, we're under the impression based off of Futon Critic here that new episodes are going to be airing, was that the October 8th date, which is probably going to be before Hasbro PulseCon. So if anything, maybe the fact that the cast is there is to, like I said, is to get fans excited for the show's highly anticipated return. So I'm assuming if anything, it'll be airing by the time Hasbro PulseCon certainly comes around. So yeah, definitely look forward to that. I believe they've got some exclusives also that they announced. Power Rangers Lightning Collection 6-inch Mighty Morphin Pudgy Pig. So they got a 6-inch Pudgy Pig that's going to be coming in regards to villains for Lightning Collection also. So definitely some Lightning Collection stuff happening there. Clearly Dino Fury's coming back. The fact that Jordan Fight's there, I'm sure they're going to be boasting about the return or the premiere and debut of the Gold Ranger. One of the things that I've mentioned is, if anything, I'm highly anticipating the debut of the Gold Ranger to certainly be there before the 15th episode, or at least I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. I can't imagine seeing them wait any longer than that, but who certainly knows? Who certainly knows? But I'm pumped for this. Again, I had a fantastic time last time, and if there's anything that I'm expecting from Hasbro PulseCon, this is probably the time that I would expect some Power Ranger news in regards to movies. Now, I'm not expecting a ton of information to be dropped here, right? I mean, if Hasbro still plans on trying to release a Power Ranger movie in 2023, I mean, that's still 2 years away from when this Hasbro PulseCon convention winds up dropping. So if anything, we have heard from Brian Goldner, the CEO over at Hasbro, I believe on the first quarter call, like back in March. They did mention the idea that they had some announcements that they were going to let others know about relatively soon, or very soon, I believe is what the words that Brian Goldner wind up saying. So if anything, if we haven't seen anything as of yet, we've had countless sort of fan first Fridays in the meantime as well. I would kind of expect maybe some of those announcements to drop on the biggest stage that you have available for your intellectual properties. So if anything, maybe a brief synopsis. Maybe Jonathan Entwistle will record a pre-recorded video, like a 2-minute plot details in regards to what he's working on, maybe explaining to us the bigger scope of the world that he's trying to create, right? Maybe a better understanding of, yes, we're getting a movie, but maybe, explaining the concept of the non-kid show, the kid show, animation, how that's all going to kind of form together. Maybe a brief sort of overarching release date, maybe not like a exact day and year, but maybe a month and year that they're kind of aiming for, if you will. So yeah, I think things along those lines. I don't know if they would announce casting as of yet, but maybe a brief plot summary and synopsis, and maybe a better understanding as to what Jonathan Entwistle is truly working on in just regards to its scope, if you will. Those are a couple things that I really would personally like to see. And then again, maybe a general sort of release date or something that they're certainly aiming for. I think casting probably hasn't been done yet, but maybe I'm wrong. Like, I have no idea what draft of the script that they're even on, right? Are they still working on the first script? Do they have a final draft in place already? Who certainly knows? So I'm hoping that we do at least get some further clarity as we certainly move forward, even if it's not necessarily everything that we certainly have, or that they have to certainly give us. So movies take time, and again, with it being at least another 2 years away, I'm not expecting anything monstrous, but I am expecting maybe a little bit more clarity and insight onto in regards to what's going on. I don't know if they're going to do any Boom Studios type of stuff here. I'm trying to remember everything that they did for Power Rangers. If anything, maybe they'll give us like a preview clip of like a new episode. Maybe Jordan Fight's episode's going to be dropping relatively soon in comparison to where Hasbro PulseCon is dropping. Who certainly knows? But I'm excited for it. They did a fantastic job. Shout out again to um, Jackie Jennings for doing an amazing job last time. The idea of having to host anything live for like 2+ hours, I think, is monumental, especially when you have so many moving parts, and every live stream has kind of got to start working when you absolutely need it to, sort of thing. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they did do it live last time. Because I did find it rather interesting. But guys, I want to know your thoughts. We have a release date, 2-day event for Hasbro PulseCon. This is the opportunity for them to really let loose and give us an idea as to what's next for our Power Rangers IP. Is there any other IP outside of Power Rangers that you're interested in hearing information about? Whether that be G.I. Joe. Like for me, I know G.I. Joe, they just dropped the movie Snake Eyes. I don't know if they would go so far. I believe they're supposed to be working on a Amazon Prime series for Lady Jane. So I am kind of curious if maybe even G.I. Joe references something. I'm not exactly even sure when Ghostbusters Afterlife, the movie, drops. Maybe it drops before October 23rd and 22nd. But if it doesn't, maybe we can have the Ghostbusters crew maybe talk a little bit about their upcoming movie and some toys maybe that they have associated with it. So I'm a huge fan. Like Hasbro has so much content and IP that I'm a big fan of. That I'm kind of hoping that there's maybe 2 or 3 big announcements that come out of this convention, and I'm hoping that the success of last year and maybe the success of this year going into it allows them to continue to do these sort of virtual conventions each and every year. So we'll definitely see how that goes. But again, guys, I want to know your thoughts. October 22nd and 23rd, Hasbro PulseCon. Mark your calendars. Be ready to go ahead and talk some Power Rangers once that drops, guys. And I'm hoping all the Power Ranger stuff lands on that Friday so that we can talk about it directly here on Saturday for you guys. So again, definitely go ahead and let me know your guys' thoughts. Actually, let me see what you guys are saying. I'll actually pull this back up here. Koala, thank you for coming through, Koala. And yes, Nato, that was you asking me that question about the Power Ranger movie. Thank you for clarifying that. Power Rangers Ready says, do you think Hasbro PulseCon, the Dino Fury cast, will reveal some secrets regarding Dino Fury season 1 and maybe hints on season 2? Maybe some Easter eggs. Like I almost wonder if it will be because Jordan Fight's going to be there. If it is going to be a big push for his episode debut, or maybe opportunity to talk about that, like maybe he's debuted already, and maybe they'll have a little bit of a conversation and see what it's like with him. Some hints, I do expect maybe some hints. They're definitely not going to give away too much information, but I do expect some hints. You said Hasbro PulseCon last year was incredible with the Dino Fury cast being announced, especially the reveal of Jordan Fight joining the cast. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Enrique, is PulseCon 2021 we'll get a first look at the upcoming new Dino Fury episodes along with season 2 toys and the movie. I think a season 2 trailer would be pretty awesome. I don't know how far along we would be in the season to warrant a season 2 trailer, but maybe a little brief trailer to round off season 1. Maybe like a last 4 episodes sort of trailer that they kind of put together to tease us for what the finale certainly might be. So I don't know. I definitely expect toys to definitely be there. Small amounts of movie news, but movie news nonetheless. And I think the focus probably will be more on Dino Fury stuff. Maybe the reveal of more Zords, more toys, maybe a little sneak peek to the remainder of season one. Just don't know how much of season two they're going to be revealing though. But anything's possible, Enrique. Those are some great things to certainly want to see. Midwest Tokusatsu. What's up, Midwest? Certainly good to see you in here. Blossom says, PulseCon, Jizo Maggie, you're not kidding when you say they're going all out. Yeah, because last year was just one day. So the fact that they're going to be juggling it for 2 days definitely has me eager. Like I'm curious as to how long the convention's going to be. Are we starting from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 10 to 7, 12 to 7? Like how much content do you guys have? I'll be super excited to certainly see. Emmanuel says this should be on the weekend, not only Friday and Saturday. School kids gonna suffer, including me. That's true. I didn't think about that. Would animation be the safest core route or live action with the 2017 cast reboot or something else? He says, if they don't come back, I'm going to cry. I'll get your tissues ready for you, Emmanuel. I'm not expecting them to, but I would love to have them back. If they are going to come back, give them to me in animation. I wouldn't mind another animation journey of theirs. I just don't know if the cast, I feel like the cast for the most part is probably so busy with things like Naomi Scott's just become such a big name. The idea of asking her, RJ Seiler, um, um, Damn. Damn, what is Red's name? Well, I don't want to say Montgomery, but it's not. Dacre. Is it Dacre Montgomery? I mean, it's Dacre, I believe. I just don't know. Maybe if you can get them in as voice acting work, perhaps you might be onto something there for sure. But you could make a good point in regards to it being on a Friday and a Saturday. I mean, well, again, we don't know what time it starts on Friday. I would assume during the day though. So it probably will hinder people that are at school. But yeah, the idea of it being on the weekend probably the smarter move. I would definitely agree with you there. But they're so used to doing Fan First Fridays that they still get people that come through to watch them. So they probably just expect it to be perfectly okay though. Datilla says, I'm excited for PulseCon. Yeah, me too. I truly am. The A Game senses, I think they will actually give us the opening sequence for Dino Fury that includes Aeon as the Gold Ranger because if the math is correct, then this con will be before Aeon's debut episode. And that's what I was assuming. That's like if Jordan Fight's going to be here, either his debut episode has already dropped that is dropping that weekend, the week before or the week after. It's going to be right around there. So they're probably going to be promoting it. I do like that idea of an opening sequence as a teaser to see how they've changed the opening sequence. So you might be onto something. You might be onto something. Off topic, but he says, "Did you see Snake Eyes?" I attempted to watch it yesterday. It didn't hold my attention too much. The action was great though. I might have to try and give it another sit down and watch. It didn't hold my attention in the way that I was hoping for. And I'm gonna be honest with you. A spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! If you guys have not had the opportunity to watch Snake Eyes, I felt some type of way about the idea that Homeboy doesn't get his costume until the literally last minute of this movie. So I was like, what the are you kidding me? I was a little perturbed by that. A little perturbed by that. Adam does say he's a couple months ago, someone leaked Jordan Fight's debut, but it immediately got deleted. I think it was the opening. Well, I'm glad I didn't get the opportunity to see it. I'm really glad I didn't get the opportunity to see it. Hunter and Tessa did some interviews as of late. Love that the cast is getting interviews lately. I think Beast Morphers only had a few, usually while on set. I will say, I feel like after the first half of season one wind up dropping, I feel like there were quite a few Beast Morphers interviews. I feel like this is the opportune time for those interviews to take place. This is around the same time that we had our interview with Liana Ramirez right after the middle half of season one before going into the second half of season one, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they're definitely getting their rounds in for sure. Nato says, "Would you like to see Millie Bobby Brown in a Power Ranger movies?" I would be open for it. One of the reasons why I've never selected Millie Bobby Brown is I feel like she's so popular as an up and coming star that I just don't know if she would want to tackle something like Power Rangers or if she's going to be doing other things also. So I've always tried to go with other actresses. But trust me when I say, I mean, I feel like Millie Bobby Brown for plenty of people would be up there with like top three choices for sure. She definitely is for me. Datilla says, I think any major news or announcements about the future of Power Rangers will be held off until Power Morphicon 2022. Possibly, possibly. We'll have to see. I can't remember when Power Morphicon is certainly going to drop. Again, I wouldn't mind some news coming out of Hasbro PulseCon, but maybe the major news maybe is as early as Power Morphicon 2022. So you might be onto something there. What's up, Usai? Usai certainly coming through. Thank you very much. Trent says excited to see Precious and Dino Fury. We'll definitely get to that here in just a minute. Koala says they may announce the platform for the movie. That would be another good suggestion for Hasbro PulseCon. I think that would be a great way. I think that would be a tidbit of information, if anything, in theaters to a streaming service that I think you could probably release. So yeah, I mean, that might be some information, Koala, that they let us know also. Dacre, there we go. I was like something Montgomery, but yeah, Dacre Montgomery. Usai says they better give Power Rangers some strong push. I say Hasbro has been killing it with the Ranger figures, but have been dropping the ball hard on the Zords. If you know you have a new series coming, work on the Zords months before you even preview or show them off is just poor planning and foresight. Yeah, I am kind of curious if I'm assuming maybe with the Hasbro PulseCon, maybe this is where they're going to be announcing a bunch of their Megazords here. But you're right. I am kind of floored at the idea and the lack of Zords for sure. Who else we got in here? Charles. Shout out to Charles for certainly coming through. It wouldn't be too bad to see two of the three most forgotten Rangers of all time in this event: Walter Jones, David Yost. Rest in peace, Toy Trang. Kamen Rider. What's up, Kamen Rider? Appreciate you coming through. Thank you very much for making your presence known. All right. All right, guys. I believe with that out of the way, if anything, we will transition over to our next topic for you guys. One that I'm actually eager to go ahead and talk a little bit about, but there is some development that actually literally just happened overnight that I did not see coming, ladies and gentlemen. One of the big questions, especially going into season two of Dino Fury, is really like, who's the big bad of this season? When I think of Real Soldiers series, we had Precious, who certainly comes through, who makes quite the debut in the season, to where once Precious actually becomes a formidable foe in Real Soldier, I honestly thought that he was going to be the end all be all. But there is even another hierarchy there in regards to, I don't know if it was like the God Eris or whoever that Precious was certainly working with or trying to bring back. We also have Void Knight or Guy Sorg in Real Soldier that unfortunately doesn't make it out of Real Soldier. That Void Knight armor, certainly, I believe maybe by the halfway point, maybe a little bit further in, unfortunately doesn't make it towards the end of the season. So anytime it comes to adaptions, though, it doesn't necessarily have to be copy and paste from Super Sentai. It's really all about how can you take the Super Sentai footage that you're given and formulate that into your own sort of original storytelling. One of the, I think, big surprises that recently came out of season one for Dino Fury was the reveal of Void Knight's, I'm assuming, his wife or the love of his life in Santora, that's being held sort of in a stasis at this moment. There's been tons of speculations, theories out there as to who Void Knight is, what Santora's connection to Void Knight, how big of a role Santora certainly has to certainly play. And one of the things that kind of jumped out at me, I think for me, one of the biggest theories that I had attached myself to was the idea of Santora being Precious. That maybe the idea of Santora's final form, or maybe when she's awoken from this sort of um stasis pod that she's currently in, maybe she turns into none other than this Precious character. Did I pull this up? I did. Okay. Um, but lately, if you guys recall, a couple of weeks back on our Simon Says segment, we had a photo from Simon's Instagram page that showcased another character perhaps being utilized in Madame Noir. Um, when I saw that photo, there was a part of me that started speculating that maybe Santora isn't Precious at all. Maybe Santora is actually Madame Noir. So it does make me still very curious as to how they're going to utilize this character in Precious when it comes to Dino Fury. Well, while I necessarily don't have the answer to that, I can say this without doubt. They do plan on using this character in Dino Fury. This past week, we actually wind up getting ourselves a brand new photo here revealed of just that. Let me go ahead and pull this up if I can. Hello, you gonna let me pull this up? Now it don't even want to work for me. What? Yo, what is happening here? Hold on one second, guys. I'm kind of curious why this I have my thoughts as to why this isn't popping up, but let me try one more time here. Cross your fingers that this works, guys. There we go. There we go. I don't know why it didn't load up for me last time. That's so odd. Um, this was actually taken from a Instagram page that's actually a video. Okay. But they took a screenshot of this. As you can see, it does say New Zealand's national. I can't. I don't know what the word is behind the. Maybe that's an airport or something. But there you go. There's Precious making her presence felt. That's in fact New Zealand. That's not copy and pasted on there. That's actually a behind the scenes shot of Precious walking in the streets of New Zealand. Um, I will say this. Let me go ahead and even pull this up for you guys too. So this is from Red Suker. Red Suker. When I pull this up for you guys, it says Precious scene in Dino Fury filming. And so they've got the actual Precious character from Real Soldier. And then, of course, you get the opportunity to see here that same photo that I literally just showed you of Precious over in New Zealand. Now, somebody did ask, Agus did ask, where is this from? And they said Instagram. So when I go to the actual Instagram page that this is supposed to be coming from, it automatically pops up. Sorry, this page isn't available any longer. This is what I get when I follow that page. The link you followed may be broken or the page may have been removed. So guys, I'm pretty sure they did not want us to see the idea that Precious is in fact going to be in Dino Fury. I don't believe that they expected this photo or even video to come out. The video itself literally shows bystanders standing around, explosions happening, people running, and then Precious sort of walking into the shot itself. And that's where you wind up actually getting it. You see this bystander running. There was a little bit of an explosion, and Precious himself is walking down the street. So I find it very, very fascinating that when it comes to, I'm assuming, if anything, Hasbro probably quickly told them cease and desist. pull this down. We definitely don't want you showing this sort of anywhere type of thing. And they wind up getting bit for it. So, yeah, I'm glad we were able to at least get that photo for you guys here. But how this comes together, I honestly have no idea. I am starting to feel very much under the impression that Precious is going to be their own sort of original character. Have their own particular storyline, whether he's from Rafcon, maybe he's trying to finish the job of what happened over with Rafcon. I'm hoping that there's some sort of connection to Zato and Ion in regards to Precious. So I am almost under the impression that this is not the Centaura character. I could be absolutely wrong. That was my first theory, that Centaura would be Precious, but now I'm leaning towards Centaura being a Madame Noir, as the love of Void Knight. And then Precious clearly here being their own independent person. I will say this: the arrival of Precious does bring forth some really heavy hitting sort of storyline aspects in regards to how Real Soldier wind up turning out to be. I believe Precious's counterpart or his partner ended up turning out to be like a former master of the Real Soul Tribe, and I believe it was Master Black, who was going incognito and undercover and things like that. I believe they actually wind up destroying the Void Knight armor in the middle of battle or something like that too. So when Precious comes on the scene, guys, some shit certainly is going to go down. So I'm really expecting Dino Fury to even take a further step forward. I am curious if there is any connection to Precious and to Void Knight's mystery that continues to thicken as the season progresses. So some really great theories out there, guys. I am kind of curious to know how you particularly feel that Precious fits into it. We haven't gotten, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe we've gotten ourselves an actual official name for this character as of yet. We'll definitely keep you posted once we do. That's why I keep referring to them as Precious from the Real Soldiers series. I don't believe it was pronounced Precious. I believe I always referred to it as Precious, but who certainly knows? But guys, I want to know your thoughts in here. How pivotal of a role do you think this character will play? What role will this character play? So definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. Again, I think the fact that they decided to take down the fact that they decided to go ahead and actually take down this video says something. Says something. Adam says, "Hey, sorry, Adam, but your hair seems to change every week. Last time we saw you, you got a haircut. Yeah, it's my hair grows quick, man. I can't help it. I can't help it. I literally will shave my head, and then a week or 2 weeks later, it looks like I got nothing done. So my hair is definitely the type, like I gotta keep it maintained like every 2 weeks. I really do. Nobody got time for that though." Emmanuel says, "Have you wondered why Void Knight haven't used Sentai footage yet, or will he at all?" Listen, I mean, there's definitely no requirement to have to use Super Sentai footage. I think the benefit to using original footage for Void Knight is you do get to tell the story that you certainly want to tell, right? I mean, if you utilize footage for Void Knight when it comes to Super Sentai, you're not getting a full season's worth of content for the character. Like if they have plans on keeping Void Knight around all season long, or they follow the storyline of Real Soldier, and use the Super Sentai footage, there is limited footage of Void Knight. So a lot of that you probably want to use original footage whenever you can. Again, I don't know how far along in Real Soldier they're going to continue to follow that storyline, right? Like, does Void Knight die come like episode 20 or 25 or something like that, right? And then never to be heard from again? Or do you just continue to stick with original footage and tell the proper story for Void Knight that you certainly want to, and really not allowing Sentai footage to dictate how much of a story for Void Knight you can certainly tell? Again, it's the benefits of having original footage over Sentai. So that's probably one of the reasons why they've used more original footage for Void Knight than anything else. It's just fitting their storyline purposes so much better. Dino Rangers Ready says, I sort of don't want Santor being Precious's final form. I don't want her to be a generic monster walking around. Did not like that with Trakina in Lightspeed Rescue. I never saw Precious as just a generic monster walking around, though. I felt like she had some pretty pivotal moments when it comes to Real Soldier in regards to moving the button for their storyline. So there are some elements that I love, like her ability that she had in the show. I believe she was able to create like cards that would literally capture your heart and she would become ownership of them, sort of thing, right? So she would then own your heart in this sort of card form, if you will, allowing you to now have to do everything that she asks you to, or she has that ability to literally take her card that has your heart in it and just crush it in the palm of her hands, and give you a heart attack, kill you off, sort of thing, right? Like, so she definitely has a really great sort of power set, that can make other people do what she wants them to do, right? Who knows? Maybe she's got Void Knight's heart and she's the one pulling the strings for Void Knight to do some of the things that she needs of him to do, using him as a pawn for all we know. So I think there is a plenty of room when it comes to Precious's form, um, um, and just her power set. So again, I don't necessarily need that's the route that I was going, Santora being Precious at some point in time. I'm not leaning that way though anymore. I think that she might be Madame Noir, but regardless of who Santora turns out to be, I think it's two great characters for them to choose from, and I'm really eager to kind of see how it plays into the overall story arc. You also say that behind the scripts, behind the scenes photo, they will most likely edit out New Zealand and replace with Pine Ridge. Yeah, you're probably right there. Koala Hasbro is like, no, no, yeah. Hasbro definitely clearly didn't want that video to get out. Trent says, "Why do you call it's a she? Why do you call Precious him?" Well, I on Ranger Wiki, I believe they have him listed down as a male, if I'm not mistaken. Not that Ranger Wiki is the most accurate information in the world, but yeah, I've always seen Precious as a yeah. LF says Precious is a him. From everything that I've been that I can remember, it feels odd. Trust me, it feels odd. Trust me, I agree. Yeah, Trent does say that there is some Sentai footage for Void Knight and Real Soldier. They probably are just going to use it later in the season. So yeah, that's always a possibility as well. All right, guys. So with that out of the way, I definitely want to know your guys' thoughts once again. Sorry, my internet connection continues to drop. So if it does get kind of weird from time to time, I apologize. I've just got so many different things opened up currently right now. That it's kind of hard to juggle everything that we've got there. So yeah, again, I do find it interesting that they took down that video for Precious arriving in New Zealand to have the some sort of an impact. But we'll see why it is that they wanted to take it down. Whether that's just so far ahead, I'm assuming that's probably maybe late season 2 or something. For all I know, who knows? But I am kind of curious to see how this winds up playing out, because if clearly Hasbro doesn't want us to see it, there's definitely something behind it. But again, you see Precious on the set for Dino Fury being filmed. How much of a role do you think she'll definitely or he'll definitely play when it comes time? And who's to say? I know you guys are giving me crap about it's a him, it's a she. Listen, it'll be interesting to see how they turn things around when it comes to adapting it here in the States, because I believe Crayon in the show in Real Soldier is a him, but it's portrayed by a female in Dino Fury. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know who's going to be the voice actor doing the work for Precious. So I'm sure it'll probably change when we get to the season. So who certainly knows? But yeah, guys, go ahead and give me your thoughts whenever you get the opportunity to do so. Koala says, "Do you think Hasbro cares about Power Rangers?" Absolutely. They wouldn't spend 500 plus $1 million if they didn't. Now, the handling of Power Rangers may not necessarily be going the direction in which some fans are happy with. But just because fans aren't happy doesn't mean that Hasbro doesn't care about Power Rangers. I just think they maybe have a different mindset in regards to how to maximize, profit, and how to maximize, get the most out of the particular franchise. So yeah, but no, I do think that they care about it. They wouldn't spend 500 plus $1 million if they didn't care about it. They just might care about it in different ways. You know what I mean? And let's see here. What's the next story that we'll dabble into? You know what? We'll tackle some Lord Zedd news for you guys today. We did do a solo video in regards to this already. Um, Earlier this week, I believe it was Wednesday or Thursday, we wind up dropping this information as we wind up getting ourselves an episode 14 description from France in regards to episode 14's titled Not Even Scared, which hinted at us at the possibility of a return of Lord Zedd, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we did talk about this over this past weekend, but if you happen to miss it, we do have ourselves a um, YouTube video up there that you guys can go ahead and check out if you want to. But we're gonna go ahead and rehash it here for you guys because I am kind of curious as to some of your guys' thoughts in regards to this. But this article actually comes to us from the Illuminati. There we go. From the Illuminati. Will Lord Zedd make an unexpected return in Power Rangers Dino Fury? It does say here that Power Rangers Dino Fury second season began airing exclusively on Netflix this summer. In a French TV listing of the show on September 8th, the 14th episode called Not Even Scared. So again, they're showing episode 14th on September 8th. And then Nickelodeon's not showing episode 9 until the 18th, 10 days later. So there definitely will be some international spoilers out there for you guys, just so you be aware. But it does say that Canal J will air Dino Fury episode 14 on September 8th. Not Even Scared. It says it's Halloween time. The Power Rangers prepare their costumes. Ollie makes his friends believe that he is scared of nothing, but is he that brave? Question mark. And then it says when Lord Zedd shows up in the middle of the woods where he is supposed to meet his friends, he is a bit scared. Understandably, because Lord Zedd's mission is to get rid of the Power Rangers. So those are both from the Twitter handle T1 M3R, who usually posts a ton of stuff when it comes to France or just international markets. So there is a tease out there that Lord Zedd could be making an unexpected return in Power Rangers Dino Fury this season. And I am kind of interested to see what some of you guys said. So much so that, you know what, I think I might actually go into some of your comments from the page. Because there were a couple that I liked in here in regards to how is this even possible. So Jenny says something tells me that this could involve Slither disguising himself as Zedd, or Zedd could appear in a nightmare similar to the Zeo episode. It came from Angel Grove, where he and Rita were in Adam's nightmares. I kind of dig the nightmare scenario there. I personally kind of dig that, but that's one theory that they certainly have. Let's see here. Marcelino had an interesting one also. It said, what if Lord Zedd does return for more than one episode and the production team not recast him, rest in peace Robert Axelrod, but they direct the new voice actor to less like Robert Axelrod's Lord Zedd and mold Lord Zedd as his own character, similar to how when Daphne Maxwell Reid replaced Janet Hubbard as Aunt Vivian from Fresh Prince and Bel-Air. In the beginning, Aunt Vivian was more career-oriented and tough, but became more family-oriented and reserved when Reid took over the role. That's also a possibility too. One of the things that I said in regards to this, like if they because last time that we saw him, Lord Zedd, he was hit with with Zordon's beam, and we definitely saw a completely different side to Lord Zedd before, and that's literally the last time that we've had the opportunity to see Lord Zedd sort of pop up. And one of the things that I was mentioning was the idea that, like, okay, let's just say they want to go ahead and bring Lord Zedd back for the episode. Um, just based alone off of the Beast Morphers episode that we got when they were bringing back old villains to try and face off against our Beast Morphers. One of the things that I did not like was the voice acting work. I felt like some of them just really did not capture the villains the way that they certainly used to. And so when it comes to somebody like a Lord Zedd, the idea of just bringing on any sort of voice actor to do the role that doesn't have that same impact of Robert Axelrod, I don't know how I would feel about it. Like, I don't want them to do Lord Zedd injustice, But my thing is, look, if they do want to bring Lord Zedd back and they do get a voice actor, please, the only thing that I ask is please make sure that this guy is bringing their A game. I don't like, even if you want to make Lord Zedd its own character, or let this voice actor sort of make Lord Zedd their character, I'm completely fine by that. But just please hit me with a very menacing Lord Zedd if you can. Just, I hope that they pull it off right. But I will say this too: the theory that I'm certainly still kind of sticking to is that I personally don't even know if this is the official Lord Zedd that we're going to be getting. I think that the hint that I continue to pick up on is the fact that this is a Halloween episode, and anytime there's a Halloween episode, I almost feel like there's a swerve here somewhere. And the way that the synopsis kind of breaks down, there is a part of me that wonders if it's Ollie that's maybe dressed up as Lord Zedd, because the thing did mention or did read that Lord Zedd went to go meet his friends in the woods. And I'm wondering, like, is that Ollie going to meet his friends, but they're referring to him as Lord Zedd because he changed into his costume and he's Lord Zedd in the middle of the forest waiting for his friends, and he finds himself a little bit scared. So I am wondering if Ollie winds up dressing up as Lord Zedd, or if this is in fact a nightmare scenario, since it is another Halloween episode. There's so many different routes that they can kind of go. And listen, the one thing that I will say in regards to Simon Bennett and just the writing that we've gotten this year, there's also, like Marcelino mentions, there's also a reason as to why Lord Zedd could have a bigger role in this season if they wanted to, right? They've mentioned really no big team ups, but nobody ever said anything about great cameos, right? I think if anybody can maybe pull off a return of Lord Zedd, it's probably Simon Bennett and the crew, just based off of what we've been able to see them do from Beast Morphers and in Dino Fury so far. So is there a chance that Lord Zedd comes back and has a bigger role? Maybe I'll give it maybe like a 10% chance, but I am still leaning towards the idea that something feels off when I read this episode description. I'm wondering if they're trying to pull a swerve here on us, and it ends up being Ollie dressed up as Lord Zedd here. But that's really just where I'm going at. Another comment on our video says, I think the second part implied that Ollie goes into the wood and meets Lord Zedd there and gets scared of him. That's a possibility as well. Right. I believe even the Illuminati article does bring back, was it Ryjack? I can't remember, from Beast Morphers, who he had the gun or the blaster that can reanimate hero or villains based off of like the weapons or items that they used to use and things like that. So That's another possibility as well. I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think. Do you think this is in fact going to be the real Lord Zedd, or do you think this is a nightmare scenario or somebody dressed up as Lord Zedd? I definitely would love to know your guys' thoughts. He says most likely Lord Zedd is for the Halloween episode. Take this over a recap if it isn't a recap. Yeah, I probably would take that too if Lord Zedd. I expect maybe them to use the Lord Zedd costume again, but like if one of our Rangers are dressing up as Lord Zedd, that's a pretty badass costume that they put together. You know what I mean? DHR2 says, I think I'll skip this one because it's just filler episode. Most of the time I probably would say that too. But the last Halloween episode that I watched from Beast Morphers, while it certainly felt like a filler episode at times, it was hilarious. And I thought it was fantastic the way that they certainly pulled it off with the cat, with our actors, pretending to be other people and things like that. I had a blast with it. So it might be filler, but it might also be enjoyable too. Um, Let me see. Power Ranger Ready says, I believe Lord Zed appearing will be a tribute to to Robert Axelrod's passing, which he did pass during Dino Fury filming of seasons one. I hope Zed is somehow used properly in some fashion. Yeah, probably it would not surprise me if even at the beginning or towards the end there is sort of like a little tribute or a a memory towards Robert Axelrod and things like that. That would be really classy, really classy. I certainly hope that that's exactly what it is. And if they're going to do that, please bring the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see Lord Zed at its finest. Even if it is a case of a costume, just do your best with it. If you're going to bring Lord Zed back in any way, just don't slack on it. Don't slack on it. Emmanuel says, I wish Ollie got more focus, having grounded smarts and being a Ranger fanboy like us, still like him. Yeah, he had I believe the last episode that we saw was cut off, I believe, when the Rangers were stuck in the middle of the woods. That was definitely an Ollie centric episode. They treated poor guy like, second class citizen, though, for sure. Like they completely ignored this dude and his incredible intelligence and smarts. Well, granted, not all of his technology worked, but damn, he was certainly a step ahead of everybody else. Treating poor guy like a redheaded stepchild that he is when it comes to his Power Ranger team. But yeah, he definitely would like to see more of Ollie, and I think we will. I think we will. One of the reasons why I say that, guys, is this week also we wind up actually getting ourselves some brand new photos from Dino Fury's upcoming episodes. And some of these, if you ask me, I do think some of these are actually from this particular episode in episode 14. And so let me go ahead and throw this over to you guys. Here's a couple of photos that we wind up getting. This one definitely feels like it's pulled directly out of the episode 14 summary that we just talked about, with it being Halloween time. I mean, look at all the skeletons. There's even a pumpkin in the background. I'm trying to figure out what's that all the way in the background next. That's not Finster. Who is that? I'm kind of curious now looking at this. So yeah, we got this photo. We also got Ollie, same hoodie in here also. So yeah, maybe it is based off of the idea that Ollie goes into the woods and he bumps into Lord Zed out there. What's the other photo that we have? We also have this one. I don't know if this is the same photo. I don't know if this is from the same episode or not. But we finally get to see Dr. Akana returning. I know there've been a couple of people asking for her to return. So I don't know if this is like an episode 12, episode 13 photos. I definitely do think with him in the blue hoodie, I'm definitely do thinking that these are both from the Halloween episode that we have. But then we've got this photo here with him rocking this vest. And then we've got one other photo here too, which I found interesting. We got him along with Javi on set here. This definitely looks like Campbell Cooley in the middle here. I'm assuming if anything, he's probably Weisel. Um, damn, I can't remember his name now. I definitely expect him to be Weisel in this shot, portraying to be somebody else, but that's definitely Campbell Cooley at his finest here also. So these two shots and two photos are definitely connected. Whether or not these two are connected to these two, that I don't know, but this definitely feels more episode 14. And I got to see some other episode descriptions to see if these two photos are anything different, but that's definitely Weisel being played by Campbell Cooley there for sure. Let's see here. What are some of you guys saying in regards to this? Adam Perez says, regardless being a Halloween episode, please don't disrespect Lord Zedd, even if it's not the real Zedd. And that's one of the things that I said also on my other video was like, you know, if you're gonna bring Lord Zedd back, you gotta go big and you gotta go bold with it. Like, I don't want him to just come by. Like, if this is the real Lord Zedd, as we remember him from his villainous ways, like if he literally comes in and they wind up defeating Homeboy in like one episode, then why even bring him back, you know? But if it's gonna be like a nightmare scenario, if it's gonna be somebody dressed up as his costume, maybe it's Weisel portraying Lord Zedd to kind of throw off. Well, that's another option, right? Maybe it's Weisel portraying to be Lord Zedd to kind of throw off the Rangers. If it's Weisel, then yeah, then I can understand the idea of defeating him maybe in one episode. But if you're legit bringing Lord Zedd back and you kill Homeboy off in one episode, bad form. Bad form. I don't think Lord Zedd deserves to be a one-off for any particular reason. So that would be like, just don't bring him back if that's the case. But if you got something fun and creative up your sleeve, then I'm here for it. Then I'm here for it. Jared, he says, it could be Lord Zedd or a reanimated version if Void Knight gets the reanimator from Beast Morphers. That's another good point, Jared. That's something that we brought up from Ryjack or Ryback, his weapon, his reanimator that he had. That's definitely an option there. Kamen Rider says, Zedd coming back, strange. Rather strange. Was not expecting it. But listen, you know, I will give Simon Bennett and the writers kudos. The fact that, you know, even if it is the idea of using Lord Zedd as a costume or a nightmare situation, whatever the case may be, I got to give them credit for being creative enough to, without team ups and big crossover events, to give us a ton of Easter eggs and like a little homage and nods to past Sentai, past Power Ranger series. I think things like that even go just go really a long way if you can't make it up with an actual team up or crossover event. So the fact that they're trying to use creative ways to bring back familiar faces, I think I definitely will give them credit for it for sure. Oh, going back to the Beast Morphers Halloween special, so Rob says, and that Halloween special did progress the ongoing plot in some manner, which is what I'm hoping that this certainly does too. So again, despite it maybe being filler, it was enjoyable and it kind of moved the storyline a little bit forward. Goda, what's up, Goda? He says, far out theory, but maybe the Zed suit will be the one they made for that live show that's supposed to be happening soon. Well, that's a possibility too, Goda. That's a possibility too. Power Rangers Legacy says, do you think this Halloween episode has to do with Nickelodeon's requirements? We know Disney era never really had an Halloween episode, so it's really Nickelodeon's policy requirement. I don't really know what their policy requirements are for even every season. I don't know if they request the Christmas and Halloween episode per se, like we got to have this, or if this is the writer's decision to kind of celebrate the holidays. That I don't know. I don't know if it's a requirement or not. Power Ranger Legacy. Emmanuel says Dr. Arcana returns. Yes. For real. I know a lot of people have been asking for Dr. Arcana. Yeah, look, I will say this. If you missed Dr. Arcana, check her out on our Instagram page. You'll never forget her then, that's for sure. Blossom says, if I'm having Zedd return, his evil self will be a nightmare. His good self will have given by one of the villains from Kamen Rider Saber. I do hope it's his villain self if he pops back up. Charles says, hands down, Lord Zedd is the best Power Ranger villain of all time. Then Rita, and when they got together, Ultimate Team, MMPR season 3 absolutely crushes it. Yeah, I absolutely love Lord Zedd. He's one of my favorites for sure. All right, guys. And I think one last thing I want to go ahead and showcase to you guys when it comes to photos. I'm not going to necessarily put this into a Simon Says segment, but Simon Bennett did go ahead recently and post a photo. Says, I love my job. And we get the opportunity to see here what looks to be Weisel the showman and Mucus herself. It looks like the voice actors have, in fact, decided to wear their stay in their human form, but wear their character designs as regular clothing, which I think is pretty awesome. Like, she definitely is Mucus, and she's the voice actor also, just looking absolutely adorable in that costume. And Campbell Cooley just coming through looking like a showman. Again, there is a part of me that wonders if this is connected to if that's connected to this Halloween episode. Like, are we gonna get the opportunity to see, Weisel here and Muke sort of in their human forms? Because I think that would be pretty fun if they were able to do that as their Halloween costumes. Maybe this is maybe this is Mucus's Halloween costume, him in a human form. So I'm hoping that they didn't just dress up like this for maybe like a Halloween party on set. Like, I really do hope that we get to see them as in these versions of themselves on screen at some particular point in time. I mean, Campbell Cooley is just a handsome man. I mean, look at that mustache, man. You got to put his face in front of the camera from time to time. And Mucus is just an absolute cutie. So I'm really eager. I can see why Simon Bennett loves his job as much as he certainly does. So a lot of big potential things certainly happening here, guys, when it comes to Power Rangers Dino Fury, whether that be the Halloween episode or brand new episodes in general. And there definitely will be here before we know it. So we'll definitely keep you guys in tune. But again, definitely go ahead and let us know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below in regards to what you would certainly like to see from Lord Zedd going forward. Who else we got in the live chat? We got Brian certainly coming through. What's up, Brian? Thank you very much. Good to see you. All right, guys. And with that out of the way, we will go ahead and move on to our next topic for you guys. And this one is going to be in the realm of Power Ranger Boom Studios comic books, guys. I mean, look, I will say this. Episode, or I should say issue number 10 of Mighty Morphin, if I'm not mistaken, wind up dropping this week, continuing to add to the excitement of Power Month, which for the most part I didn't think week 3 was too bad. I actually didn't mind week 3 so much. We'll highlight something else later in that wind up happening in month 3. But month 3 not only gave us a great, or I should say week 3, not only gave us a great Power Ranger comic book from Ryan Parrott in Mighty Morphin issue number 3, but Boom Studios winds up revealing to us a new limited series that we can all look forward to when it comes to later on this year. And that is, in fact, titled Power Rangers Universe, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Mora returns to go ahead and do the covers for these issues. I believe there's 6 issues, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the first one that they're highlighting for us. And, big props to Ryan Parrott and Dan Mora utilizing the very particular characters here on this cover, which I was a big fan of. I'm assuming this is clearly Rocky in here as Mighty Morphin Red. We got TJ in the back here as Turbo. At least I'm assuming that's TJ. Um, then surprisingly, we've got Hyperforce here, which Hyperforce is continuing to make its presence felt even more. The fact that they're going to be utilizing it in the comic books, I think, is stellar, since we didn't unfortunately get the opportunity to see a season 2 of Hyperforce. The fact that they are highlighting Hyperforce Red on the cover, smart, smart. We even got Lauren Sheba, who in fact returns from the Sheba clan over in Samurai. We saw Kyle Higgins utilize her to perfection in the Shattered Grid storyline. So they decided to go ahead and utilize her for the cover of Power Rangers Universe issue #1. And then, of course, Omega Red himself in Jason to go ahead and lead the charge here as well. So love, love, love this cover. Anything Dan Mora touches, I'm here for it. I've been checking out a lot of Dan Mora artwork recently in his Detective Comics for Batman. He's been doing a stellar work in there. It's really cool to kind of see him go from Power Rangers to such a big echelon character for DC and Batman. I think he's been doing a remarkable job so far. But for those of you who want details in regards to what this Power Rangers universe is all about, I got you guys covered because this actually comes to us from comicbook.com. Comicbook.com. Oh, look, it's the entire cast here too of Dino Fury. It looks like speaking with them. Speaking with them. So yeah, Power Rangers Universe series is in fact revealed. It says the adventures of Power Rangers are once again expanding as Boom Studios has revealed a brand new limited series titled Power Rangers Universe, and we've got your exclusive first look. The series will explore some of the biggest mysteries, secrets, and origins in the Ranger mythology, and artist Simone Ragazzoni will be bringing those mysteries to life throughout the series. A writer for the project has not been announced just yet, but we'll keep you posted as new details are revealed. In the meantime, you can check out some of the gorgeous covers accompanying the big debut issue. So, real quick, for those of you who do not know, Simone Ragazzoni has been doing a lot of limited series for Boom Studios when it comes to Power Rangers. We should be quite familiar with who Simone Ragazzoni is. So if you guys recall, they did the artwork for the Lord Draken New Destiny, I think it was. The Lord Draken miniseries that we wind up getting, seeing Ranger Slayer go to the throne of the Coinless universe. And then Simone also did the artwork with a great colorist, by the way, in the Power Rangers Unlimited one shot of Astronema and Ecliptor. Absolutely loved it. If you're going to tell me Simone Ragazzoni is coming back, I'm there for it. But I will say this. I'm very particular about the colorists that work with Simone Ragazzoni. I didn't mind the artwork in the Draken miniseries. The colorists, though, really did not allow that sort of art style to pop as much as I wanted to. But when you see what Simone Ragazzoni was able to do in Power Rangers Unlimited with Astronema attached with the new colorist that just really just brought that artwork to life, it was like just perfection. So if they've got a great colorist to join Simone in here, I'm all for it. I am surprised that there's no writer announced for the project as of yet. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's Ryan Parrott, maybe another familiar face in Kyle Higgins, who we haven't seen in quite some time. I'm open to whoever they certainly bring, but I'm sure it should certainly be fun. It says Power Rangers Universe will put the Phantom Ranger back in the spotlight, exploring one of the franchise's most intriguing and mysterious characters in a new way. And you can find the official description for the series below. So here's the description for Power Rangers Universe #1. It says, what is the true origin of the Phantom Ranger? And what is his connection to the morphing grid? From the moment he appeared 24 years ago, fans have been wondering about the origins of the powerful and mysterious Phantom Ranger and how they tie to the greater Power Ranger universe. Questions which have never been answered until now in the game-changing series event that no Power Ranger fan can afford to miss. Didn't we just have Phantom Ranger in the Power Ranger, the most recent Power Ranger Unlimited comic? I believe that they highlighted him a little bit in there. And then this is what Boom Studios Daphne, the senior editor, had to say. She says, from the very start of our partnership with Hasbro to bring Power Rangers to life on the comic book page, we've always knew that we wanted to explore the many more phenomenal teams and worlds in Power Rangers universe. Now, thanks to the incredible success of the ongoing series and the enthusiastic support of fans and readers, we're realizing that years-long dream by delving into the untold stories that fans have been clamoring for. It is a little bit of a bummer, if you ask me, that this turns out to be a limited series. There is a part of me that truly would love this to be an ongoing series. I mean, I know the fact that they're going to be highlighting the Phantom Ranger in here. When they say it's a limited series, I am kind of curious as to how many like how many issues are we going to be getting? Is this a 6 issue, 7 issue? I am curious as to how much extra story you can certainly tell, or if this one, if Phantom Ranger is really going to be the main arc for this limited series. If anything, here's another close-up shot if you'd like to see of the cover itself. Again, you got MMPR red, Turbo red, Hyperforce red, Samurai red here in Lauren, and then Omega red as well. Omega red. And then you got another variant cover here, which this looks absolutely incredible if you ask me. Psycho Ranger red on there too. Another variant cover here of MMPR red. Another variant cover also. That's the Phantom Ranger for you guys. One of the things that I will say, a lot of people have been asking when it comes to Power Rangers on Boom Studios, like, hey man, can we get some sort of can we get some other stories, right? When are you going to start pushing past Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and start telling other stories? I think this is an outlet for that Power Rangers universe, and that's another reason why I'm kind of curious why it's a limited series and not sort of an actual ongoing series. Maybe it is a case of first 5-6 issues we tell a story about Phantom Ranger. Next 5 or 6 issues we tell another story about another team, because it does seem as though while this will go ahead and tackle some of the biggest secrets and mysteries in the Power Ranger world, the fact that Daphne mentions the idea that this is going to be used as a platform to showcase other fan favorites and things like that, I do think this is a great opportunity for people that want to see more of, say, like Mystic Force or Jungle Fury or Adventures of other teams. This is a great starting point. So I'm hoping that Power Rangers universe, I'm hoping this first limited series garners enough attention, enough recognition from the fans to where maybe once this storyline wraps up, if they have another storyline in mind, they can go ahead and dabble in that also. We also have Power Rangers Unlimited stories, right? Which seems to be just kind of one-offs, one-shots that maybe fit into a bigger overarching story to the main series. And then from time to time, we definitely do have ourselves sort of graphic novels, another one off, if you will, in regards to graphic novels. So I think there's plenty to go around when it comes to Boom Studios of expanding the world. Clearly, we've got Mighty Morphin and the Power Rangers series that's going to focus mostly on that main iteration of teammates that we've all known ever since we were kids. But for those that want other stories, now we've got Power Rangers Universe, Power Rangers Unlimited, and one-off series in regards to graphic novels and things like that. So I think they're clearly listening to fans. And if anything, I really hope that this is a good I hope that this is a good sign to showcase just what the relationship between Hasbro and Boom Studios is, right? I believe this same year the Boom Studios contract ends with Hasbro. So I do wonder if the fact that they're unveiling this, clearly they have other plans. They talk highly of their partnership with Hasbro. I am hoping that Hasbro realizes just how much Power Ranger fans really do enjoy these comic books and maybe re-ups with them for another few years in regards to bringing these Power Ranger world universe to life, right? Because not only are they able to introduce new characters in the form of comic books and things like that, right? But Hasbro also gets to benefit from them by creating these characters into Lightning Collection pieces. I mean, we've seen it already from the TMNT stuff, the Shredder stuff, Ranger Slayer, Lord Draken being formed into Lightning Collection pieces and things like that. So their relationship seems pretty firm. So if anything, I would expect them to continue to team up with just how much buzz is surrounding Boom Studios and their comic books in general. So again, I really do hope that Power Rangers universe at some point in time turns into an ongoing series, because I do think that there is an appetite for other adventures with other teams to certainly go ahead and be told on a bigger scale. So we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens here. But I think they're definitely moving in the right direction with this. How excited are you for Power Rangers universe? Go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. It does say here, so you guys, if you're curious, Power Rangers Universe #1 hits comic book stores December, ladies and gentlemen. So quite a ways away, but it will be here in December. It's going to be made available digitally in Comixology, iBooks, Google Play You, and Kindles as well, if you can't make it to your local comic book store to support them there, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that was announced this past week. A great nod to giving us something for Power Month here. So I'm glad that they wind up announcing that then. And then our other Power Month announcement that we wind up getting here this week, more Lightning Collection pieces, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going the route of the Ninjitsu Power Rangers are in fact here. Although I do find it odd that they're literally have only given us the blue and black. Have they done the other ninjutsu ones before? If they're already out there, maybe they've already tackled some of them, like white or red and pink. And maybe they're just now getting to black and blue. But it says from Toku Nation, it says the 2 new entries in the Power Ranger Lightning Collection have just been announced. The iconic Ninja Ranger suits from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 3rd season will be joining the Lightning Collection with Ninja Black and Ninja Blue as its first entries. Okay, so it's first entries into the Ninja Ranger suit. I am curious why they didn't announce the whole line. I'm curious if they have plans on announcing the whole line for Power Month or not, or if they're going to wait on that. It says both figures come with alternate heads and effects parts, including the legendary ninjutsu style from the movie itself. Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin Ninja, Black Ninja Ranger, and Blue Ninja Ranger will be available exclusively at Target stores. These figures are scheduled for release January 22nd at the price of $26.49, so about $27 for each of these particular figures exclusively at Target beginning this January. Here's some other close-up photos for you guys if you haven't had the opportunity to see it. So yeah, it's the first entry into them tackling, it looks like, the Ninjetti style from the 3rd season. I have seen some pushback already in regards to the David Yost head sculpt, which, Loretta Masters, they usually do a pretty damn good job in regards to head sculpting. So this does look a little bit weird to me, honestly. But yeah, guys, Ninjetti Power Rangers are in fact here. So I am kind of curious if they're going to be announcing more for Power Month or not, or if this is just a little bit of a tease. But yeah, guys, I want to know your thoughts. Another addition here, and if anything, they also went ahead and revealed a sweet ass poster. I don't have the link to this, but I believe you can actually pre-order or purchase this Power Rangers Lightning Collection poster if you certainly wanted to. But yeah, man, now this almost makes me want to see all the other ones, what they're going to look like in live action. So we'll see when they wind up getting announced. I mean, maybe they announce more of them when we get to Hasbro PulseCon later on this year. So I'm kind of curious. You guys have had the opportunity to check out some of these Lightning Collection pieces. Is this worth your $27? Are you going to be picking up Adam as well as Billy from Mighty Morphin Season 3 or the Power Ranger movie itself? Definitely go ahead and let your thoughts be known in the live chat or the comment section box below. Let me see what you guys are saying. Going back to the Simon Bennett photo. Adam says human form mucus looks cute. She does. She does look like a cutie. Power Rangers Ready says, "Oh my god, I love Lauren. Seeing Lauren pop up in the Power Ranger universe cover. I agree with you there." Blossoms pumped for it. Yeah, I'm pumped for Power Ranger universe myself. I think it'd be pretty incredible. Andrew, what's up? Andrew coming through. Appreciate seeing you around here today. Power Rangers Legacy says, "Great, more Mighty Morphin figures." Yeah, I see the eye roll there. Yeah, they're definitely there. Um, Brian just says, "Is Dino Fury air on Pop Fun UK in episode 12, September 16th?" I can't remember the release dates of that. I don't know if the A Games 10 is still here. Maybe he might be able to correct you as to when the UK dates are. I didn't necessarily keep the best track of the UK dates, unfortunately. Something tells me like episode 1 was supposed to be like September 1st, or like episode 12 like September 1st. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. All right, guys. But yeah, definitely go ahead and let me know your anticipation level for the Ninja Power Ranger figures. And yeah, I haven't thought Power Month has been too bad this week at least. I haven't minded the Ninjetti Lightning Collection stuff announcements. I thought that was pretty cool. Power Ranger Universe stuff, I thought for the most part was pretty cool. Granted, I know that Hasbro probably didn't mean to release the return of Dino Fury on Nickelodeon, but the fact that we got that this week, I'll take that as a celebration for Power Month also, even though I'm sure they didn't mean for that too. So I haven't minded week 3. Week 3 has been decent. It's been decent. It's been decent. All right, guys. And with that out of the way, we will go ahead and move on to some tokusatsu news for you guys today. As we've got, I got maybe 2 final articles that we're going to be jumping into here. Our first one is, in fact, in regards to Ultraman on Netflix. You guys know we've been dabbling in some Ultraman around here. In fact, episode 5 of Ultraman Trigger just dropped as of yesterday on Friday. Really weird that they had like a 2-week hiatus after the first 4 episodes. I am kind of curious if that has really destroyed sort of Ultraman Trigger's momentum, or if it just continues on with its strength here after its 2-week hiatus. But if you are interested, Ultraman episode number 5 is up on their YouTube page. If anything, I'll be bringing the review to you guys either today or tomorrow, so certainly look forward to that. But when it comes to Ultraman, if you guys want more Ultraman in your life, there is an Ultraman show on Netflix. It is in fact an animated series, but there's only 1 season up there as of right now. Season 2 is supposed to be coming hopefully soon. There's certainly no release date on season 2, but unfortunately, the voice actor for Ultraman may not be returning for its 2nd season. This actually comes to us from jefusion.com, a great Japanese entertainment blog for you guys to go ahead and check out. We're affiliated with them. We go ahead and usually post our Zenkaiju reviews and APlus Morphinominal weekly over there for them. But let's go ahead and dive into this article because that anime series role might have a little bit of a hiccup these days. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Again, this is from jefusion.com that says Tatsuhisa Suzuki withdraws from the Ultraman anime series role. It says it was recently reported by the official Ultraman manga website that Japanese voice actor Tatsuhisa Suzuki will withdraw from his role as Kotaro Higashi, also known as Ultraman Taro in the upcoming second season of Ultraman's CGI animated series. The reason for his withdrawal from the role is due to his recent announcement regarding his entertainment industry hiatus and to the recent announcement of his wife, Japanese singer Lisa, due to her physical and mental fatigue. The staff and production team of Ultraman series are still discussing what will happen to that said role that the actor has left. So I am kind of curious if this means, like, with him leaving, he's clearly taken a hiatus from doing anything entertainment wise, whether that be voice acting, being in front of the camera, clearly taking a step back, supporting his wife and some of the things that she's certainly going through as well. So I am kind of curious if this means if they're going to even bother to try and find a voice actor for season two, or if this is like their opportunity to where if they want to pull the plug on the Ultraman CGI animated series, maybe this is their opportunity to certainly do so. I've been patiently waiting around for a season two, and it doesn't feel like we're going to be getting ourselves a season two anytime soon, at least not in this year. Maybe for 2022, but by that time, we'll see. I'll be interested to see if they find another voice actor, or if this is just like, you know what, we haven't had a season two in what, how many years? I don't even remember when season one wind up dropping, but it feels like it's been at least about 2 years. But maybe I'm over exaggerating here. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that out. Ultraman. Let's see. Ultraman Netflix. Trying to see if it tells me when this dropped. Sadly, it doesn't have the. Yeah, I mean, some of this, the official trailer for this was back in 2018. Season one review was 2019 in April. Um, So yeah, it's been like 2 years since we've gotten another season of this show, and now we're gonna be going into like the 3rd year without this season. Again, it makes me wonder, like, with him departing, does Netflix even want a season 2 at this point? So we'll see. We'll keep you guys up to date. But for you Ultraman fans out there, if you were eager for a season 2, there's yet unfortunately another hiccup that might prevent that from certainly happening. No fault of his own. I mean, listen, I get the idea of people wanting to take a breather for themselves, have a little bit of a hiatus. It sounds like he's going through a lot of personal stuff with him and his wife, whatever, challenges that they're certainly trying to go through, or maybe they just need some mental health days or a mental health year for themselves to really gather themselves and get back up on their feet, sort of thing. So I don't blame anybody from wanting to withdraw from a role. But just, it does make me worried about the return of this show, or if they'll actually get another voice actor. But we'll definitely keep you guys in tune. Once we get more information, we'll definitely go ahead and run it past you guys. But last but not least, our last story that we're going to be highlighting for you today. Did I just close this down? Damn it, Adam. I am just not on my A game today. And bring this up here for you again. But yeah, our next topic though is going to be in the realm of Kamen Rider this time around. So more Tokusatsu news for you guys. But one of the Kamen Rider projects that I'm actually really fascinated in, I feel like over the past year or so, Toei has pushed forward with their Kamen Rider, trying to make it more internationally friendly. They have recently announced at least like 3 different projects that they were going to be working on to certainly push that forward. One of the things that they mentioned was the upcoming sequel to Kamen Rider W, which was made into a manga, but they're now going to be adapting into an anime for, I believe it's titled Kamen Rider Fudo P, which is in fact going to be an animated series that will be simulcasting on Funimation for you guys to look forward to. The other project that they're currently working on, I believe, is a remake or a more modern take on Kamen Rider Black, which I believe is a series that they did in the past and might be revamping here for a more international market, if you will. But thirdly, the other project that they've been working on is, in fact, a film for Kamen Rider from the creators of Shin Godzilla and the creators of Shin Ultraman, which I'm still waiting for a damn release date. It was supposed to drop this summer, but they unfortunately they took it off the release schedule, so I don't know what's happening with that movie. But now we're going to be getting ourselves Shin Kamen Rider, ladies and gentlemen. And this past week, Tokusatsu Network let us know that production has in fact began for filming for this upcoming movie. So again, this is Tokusatsu Network, and let's see what information they have for us to see exactly how far along this movie is. Again, Tokusatsu Network. Certainly check them out whenever you can. Shin Kamen Rider filming preparation has begun. It says the official Shin Kamen Rider Twitter account has revealed that various areas of production have begun. Below, a preparatory draft has been written. So it looks like maybe their first draft for the movie has been brought together. So it says today is the birthday of Takeshi Hongo, the first Kamen Rider. The initial draft of Shin Kamen Rider has been written. We have started quietly preparing for filming while keeping infections in mind. I'm assuming COVID protocols. Please look forward to this film. So yeah, it is beginning, guys. We've also started modeling various designs for the film's new bikes. Because today is Bike Day again, according to this. They are experimenting with different placements of the logo and license plates. Preparation for filming has, in fact, begun. We strive to prevent any infections as well as practice safe driving. Please look forward to the film. I'm really looking forward to it. I truly am. So, yeah, it looks like they're getting a new bike design, new logo designs together. The draft is essentially kind of put together. It says the initial draft, so I'm assuming maybe that's the first draft of it. So I'm assuming as they're probably this is definitely all part of pre-production. They probably got concept art kind of in the background working. Probably got costume designers, prop designers, kind of all building things together and things like that as they're continuing to really strengthen the draft here. So pre-production for this movie is certainly underway. So I'm excited. One step closer to this actually happening. I would assume, if anything, again, it is expected to release in 2023. So it's going to be quite some time before this movie actually comes our way. But pre-production has in fact officially started. It does make me wonder if they're around the same time period or timetable as the upcoming Power Ranger movie with Jonathan Entwistle. Like, I am wondering if behind the scenes, if they're fleshing out the scripts, having people starting to work on early costume designs, concept art, prop, construction and things like that. So yeah, Shin Kamen Rider will definitely be here before you know it. And when it comes to Shin movies, I always tell people, I always look at them sort of as new modern origin stories for some of these characters. Like one of the movies that I continue to recommend to you guys, if you ever get a chance to find it, is Shin Godzilla, an incredible origin story. It's almost like Godzilla, the first Godzilla movie, but it's a much more modern take. What would it be like if Godzilla was planted in today's world, sort of thing, right? And I feel like that's probably similar to how they were going to be treating Shin Ultraman. And this is how I expect them to certainly treat Shin Kamen Rider, the birth of Kamen Rider, but in a more modern time. How do you kind of depict that for, older, more mature audiences and things like that? So I feel like this is going to be right up my alley in regards to checking this out. So you guys hear that pre-production has in fact begun for Shin Kamen Rider, set to go ahead and release in 2023. Just knowing where they're at in the filming process, does this get you excited? I definitely want to go ahead and know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, guys. All right. And with that out of the way, we will be moving on to our final segment of the show. And as always, that is your live viewer questions, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure how many questions we wind up getting today, but let's go ahead and tackle this. Oh, what's this? Fan Expo Dallas. Oh, have a. Oh, sorry, I was just looking at the my mail in my email account. Upcoming fan meetups in Dallas, and geek out with fans in Dallas at our next fan meetups. They're apparently having a multiverse of fun at Marvel Trivia Night. Join us as we play Marvel Trivia Night, including the recent Disney series WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki. Sport your favorite Marvel gear. Ooh, I might have to. That says August 20th. What, 7 p.m.? Oh, damn it! With that, I missed that already. How you gonna send me? Yeah, Friday, August 20th. I missed it already. How you gonna send me an update for an event that happened last night this morning? Come on, guys. Come on. Come on, guys. What's happening here? All right, we got a few questions actually. Let's see here. Jessica Friedman, would you like to see a new generation of SPD Rangers or a new generation of Lost Galaxy Rangers one day? Maybe SPD. Maybe SPD. And I say SPD one because one, SPD is a great season. Not to take anything away from Lost Galaxy, but I'm also watching Deca Ranger at the moment. 4 episodes in. I'm a sucker for like mysteries, detective work sort of thing. So if I think there should always be sort of a space patrol Delta squad out there somewhere. And so like I'm there for the idea of there always being space police. So yeah, at any particular point in time, I feel like SPD is a Power Ranger team that anytime you go into space, there's an opportunity that you meet a new SPD Ranger of some sort. So yes, I would like to see a new generation of SPD, whether that's poppy. I don't necessarily know if like you don't specify like TV, animation, or anything like that, but in any type of form of media, I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, I'm always down for a new generation of SPD. Power Rangers Legacy says, with the recent photo of Precious from Real Soldier being used in Dino Fury, if she ends up being the true form of Santora, how do you think they will use the footage? But if not, maybe Santora will be her own original character. Could this also say something about Void Knight's origins, like he is human or alien underneath the armor? I do wonder if there's a connection there. Like I'm almost like I wonder if the person under the Void Knight costume maybe made a deal with Santora to help him bring back the love of his life. And in the process of making this deal with Precious, maybe giving over his heart, maybe she has ownership of it, and in return has given him the power in regards to the Void Knight armor to achieve his goals of maybe bringing Santora sort of back to life. That just came off the top of the dome. So I'm wondering if maybe that's the case, and Santora goes on to, when she does come back, maybe she's Madame Noir and Santora is a completely different character, but we still have and but I'm excuse me, but and Precious is excuse me, Santora turns out to be Madame Noir, and Precious is its own character. So you at least get that connection between Precious and Void Knight, and a reason to kind of have them connected. So I still think there's a path where Void Knight is human. Heck, this person could still be from Rafcon, also for all we know. But a part of me, I want to say that he's human. Um, I think the fact that Zato references to Void Knight in the beginning of the series, how did you get that armor sort of thing, um, makes me feel like somebody stole it so much as it is an alien or a Rafcon person claiming it for themselves. It feels like maybe it was discovered. So I think he might be human underneath the armor itself. So that's how I feel like Precious is maybe going to be used in Dino Fury. I'm wondering if Void Knight has made a deal with the devil in a sense, and he's heart and Precious's harboring his soul or his heart, type of thing. We'll see though. That's just off the dome speculation. If we were to have a crossover with all Red Rangers from MMPR to now on Dino Fury, do you want Shane to be included, either by his stand-in or his older brother, or just a suit actor that's stock footage designed? Um, I think one of the I think we kind of I don't remember if I dabbled in this last weekend or maybe it was this week when I did the video. I can't remember, but when it comes to Shane, if they were to ever do like a Forever Red 2 or just a reunion, a crossover of all Reds again, I would love it to be another character from Ninja Storm has kind of earned that role now as the Red Ranger. I don't necessarily want him just as a suit actor with never taking off his helmet sort of thing. If you can get one of the actors from Ninja Storm to return, I would like to have seen them move into the red spot. Like maybe something just happened to Shane off camera that we never got the opportunity to see. And one of those characters wind up stepping up to be Ninja Storm Red. I think that would be a really great way to pay homage and remembrance to him also. Um, what do you remember when Ghostbusters always do that? What do you remember when Go Busters was first announced as the new adaptation for Beast Morphers? And what did so what did using the show did better or worse than Go Busters? Well, I remember when it was first announced, I was actually pretty fucking hyped. I was surprised at the ballsy decision to go backwards. I always felt Beast Morphers was a season that could be adapted and should have been adapted. One, because of its uniqueness. I always loved the costume designs. I thought the addition of Buddy Roids would have been incredible. So the idea I've always wanted Beast Morphers to be or Go Busters to be adapted. So I was bummed when it was initially passed up on. So when they did announce it, I thought it was just ballsy and a really great decision to just do something fresh, because I just automatically thought to myself, like, yeah, I'm sure that there is some Super Sentai footage you could utilize, but how grainy is that footage? Does that footage still even hold up to Beast Morphers? And for the most part, it certainly did. But you can tell from Beast Morphers alone that they still tried to include a lot of original footage, which I was definitely appreciative of. So I was hyped when they first announced Beast Morphers as being adapted. I thought it was a great choice of a season. Some of the things that did better or worse than Go Busters, I still think Go Busters is the better season, but by a slim margin. I thought their villains were handled extremely well with Enter and Escape. I thought they even handled sort of the buddy roids significantly better in regards to how Beast Morphers handled the B spots. I think they were super underutilized, unfortunately. Go Busters just had a really great sort of family dynamic. And I think I feel like the overall arching story, season one was pretty compelling, especially the end of season two for Beast Morphers. The idea of they definitely took that from Go Busters, the idea of like your family sort of being trapped in this digital world and you have to kind of go in there and save them. So the idea of adapting that for season one, I thought was pretty smart in how they certainly handled it. But I think Go Busters just does it just a slightly better. Great seasons. That's always a series that I hate comparing to one another, because I think they're so good in their own route. Like the musical episode for Beast Morphers, I think is like one of my favorite episodes of that particular era of Power Ranger television. So much to where I'm like, man, Go Busters couldn't pull the trigger on something like that, or at least they didn't. So yeah, it definitely has its ups and downs, but I love both seasons. I would recommend both seasons to anybody. I really would. Let's see here. Doomsday. When did Super Sentai Monday suddenly change to Toku Tuesday? um When did it change to Toku Tuesday? I think I was just playing around with it in my head, and I was like, "Oh, Toku." I would think it might have been like a Taco Tuesday around here. Thinking to myself, "Oh, I want to go to Rosa's Cafe and get me some tacos." And I'm like, "Oh, Taco Tuesday, Tokusatsu Tuesday. Okay, maybe we can play up on this." And it just rolled off the tongue so much better than Super Sentai Mondays. It should be like because of the fact that S and an M. It doesn't really work. I mean, I could turn into Super Sentai Sundays. I mean, I probably could have done that also. But by the time the episode becomes available to me, most of my tokusatsu stuff, it's just easier to drop on Tuesdays. So that's how it wind up turning to Toku Tuesday around here instead of Super Sentai Mondays. I hope you guys don't mind it though. I hope you guys don't mind it. Why do you ship? Oh, who do you ship the most in Dino Fury? If I had to ship anybody in Dino Fury, it's probably Ollie and Amelia. It's probably Ollie and Amelia. The fact that they are one of the first two to have met each other in here, the fact that there is sort of they clearly get along. They clearly support each other in times of need when they need to, but they also don't mind little pokes and jabs at each other. Growing up as a kid, what did they always say when like the person of the opposite sex like picks on you a lot, or like if she punches you in the shoulder a lot, right? Like it means that they kind of like you. So there is a dynamic between those two that I really like. And I am wondering as the season progresses if they'll come around to one another. Despite them giving each other a hard time about superstition and being scared and believing in things or science and that type of thing. Despite the pushback that they give each other when it comes to them being rangers and fighting alongside each other, they definitely do have each other's back. So I think for me, if I ship anybody, probably Amelia and Ollie. Opposites tend to attract, is what they say. So if I had to ship anybody, again, I don't need one in this series. I almost would be okay without one. um, and it still wouldn't surprise me if one of these characters turns out to be like gay or bisexual or whatever the case may be, a representation of the LGBT community. It wouldn't surprise me if that certainly happens also. But if I had to ship, probably Ali and Amelia right now. What is your top favorite Dino Fury Rangers? My top five. If I had to put them in order right now, damn, this is tough. I'll probably go Zato, Tessa, excuse me, Zato, Izzy, Amelia, followed by Ali and Javi. Off the top of the dome, I'll probably go that route. So yeah, Zato, Izzy, Amelia, and then give me Ali and Javi. It might change for all I know. Brian Lee, what's up, Brian? Appreciate you with the questions. Are you excited? Tokusatsu coming to North America. I believe Tokusatsu is already available in North America, isn't it? At least I watch it, and I've got it available on my Pluto TV app that I have on my phone. But so Tokusatsu, I mean, and Tokusatsu in general. Definitely is coming to America in big ways for Kamen Rider. But Tokusatsu, the app, I believe itself, I have it already on Pluto TV on my app. Um, and Kamen Rider Ryuki coming in November 21st. Thank you for bringing this up because I did not pull this up in our news. I probably should have, though. Kamen Rider Zero coming January 2022. I'm super pumped for it. I'm super pumped for it. I think Zero One, since I missed it when it was originally aired, I think I'm really going to go ahead and make it a priority to tackle Zero One when it comes to Tokusatsu on January. I think I definitely will check that out. I am hoping, if anything, that they do have themselves a release date schedule, so I know like what dates to expect new episodes, or not new episodes, but for them to be dropping another episode of Zero One. I would be interested to know that. And Ryuki also. I don't. I'm gonna ask Stuart. I know he's already doing Kamen Rider Saber for you guys. I believe he's also going to be reviewing Revice for you guys. I almost wonder if I can get him to review Ryuki when it drops in November also. So I'll talk about it with him. But I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for both of those coming to America here, giving us the opportunity to at least see those seasons. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped, Brian. Thank you for the question. L'Oreal's got a couple questions. He says about Lord Zedd reappearing. I'm pretty sure it's a disguise, right? Zedd was hit by Zordon's energy wave at the end of In Space. He's our counterpart for Tokyo 7. Oh, that's kind of cool, L'Oreal. Yeah, and that's another question. Like, what form are we going to be getting him in? Because when he was zapped with Zordon's energy, he does turn back to his like the human form of himself, if I'm not mistaken. So which one is coming back? Is he going to be in Lord Zedd as we know it, or is he going to be in the new form? I prefer the old one. I prefer the old one. So I'm hoping it's in some sort of disguise, but who knows? What do you think about the spinoff they made for Yodana in that bimbo? For the record, I don't mind my sweet Babu with another girl, just not Kakihara. She's a snake. Look, people can change, Blossom. Look, if Juro can accept who Kakihara has turned into, you should support Juro in the decisions that he makes. If this is the woman that he wants in his life for Kakihara, maybe she had her conniving and snakish ways before she met Juro, but Juro's clearly changed her. So maybe you should start supporting your man a little bit more in Juro. I'm just giving you a hard time. No, I have not had the opportunity to watch Yodana and Kakihara in the Yodana special yet. So maybe she is still snakish in the episode that we wind up getting. Because not only is there a Yodana 1 special, but there's going to be a Yodana 2 special also that's going to be dropping in September sometime. I don't even know where to watch the first one. I can't find the Yodana special anywhere. If you guys know where I can watch the first Yodana special, please put it in the comment section box below after this video airs. Not in the live chat because I'll miss it, but in the comment section. If there's a link somewhere where I can watch it or check it out, I would absolutely love to. What are you expecting for Dino Fury? More awesomeness for sure. I'm just excited for the Max Real Soul. I want to see this Battleizer form at one point in time. I really want to see this Void Knight plot thicken. I really want to see Ion, I'm assuming is from Wrathcon. I want to see more Wrathcon and Zato stories, whether or not they have a past together. I definitely want to see more of Wrathcon and that story kind of emphasized on more mystery as to who the Void Knight is. I think there's something juicy building up here for Void Knight and Santora, and even maybe this Precious character, maybe some connections to Amelia for all we know. I'm expecting, the Jordan Fight debut as the Gold Ranger here relatively soon. Yeah, there's a lot of tons that I'm definitely expecting. You say, since my pal and I might handle Caramager soon, how would it be if Juro's counterpart was the first neurodivergent Red Ranger? Kind of like how I have Katie, my counterpart in Kangura, as a neurodivergent Pink Ranger. What does that even mean? Neurodivergent. I'm gonna have to do this Google search. Neurodivergent. Yeah, what is that? Person who's who, hold on. In the late 1990s, Judy Singer, a sociologist who was on the autism spectrum herself, came up with the word to describe conditions like ADHD, autism, and dyslexia. This word was neurodiversity. Okay, so somebody that's on the spectrum. Okay, I've just never heard it put together like that before. I learned something new today. Hopefully, you guys did also. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty badass if you ask me, Laurel. We've seen it work with R.J. Seiler's Billy from the 2017 Power Ranger movie. So yeah, absolutely could work. AJ, he's got a couple questions. When Lord Zedd possibly returning for Dino Fury, do you think this will be the same Lord Zedd or the new version of him? Because we know he and Rita turned human at the end of In Space. Perhaps it's a tribute to Robert Axelrod. It's a possibility he could still be human, but I think if you're going to bring him back, I will say this. I'm open to either way. Um, I think like if you were to bring the traditional Lord Zedd suit and costume back, that's where I feel like it's more pressure that I would put on them to make it right, because Lord Zedd, you got to nail the voice, you got to nail his presence for sure. Extremely frightening. It's a lot of work you got to put in, right? But if you wanted to do the human version of Lord Zedd, that might be easier for some people to certainly swallow. You don't have to deal with his voice and Robert Axelrod. You can have somebody else literally portraying this guy in a human in his human in his human body. So I would be okay with both of them. It would definitely take the pressure off of them to bring like the traditional Lord Zedd back. But I do hope that it is a tribute to Robert Axelrod. Do you think after episodes 9 to 11 on Nickelodeon that we already got in Netflix? Hold on. Do you think after Nickelodeon airs 9 through 11 that we already got on Netflix in June, episode 12 will be on Netflix again or on Nickelodeon? This airing schedule is so confusing thanks to Nickelodeon's possibly contract ending at the end of the year. Super confusing, man. Super confusing. So no, AJ, you're not the only one confused. If Netflix does not make an announcement for episode 12 to drop here in Power Month, then I absolutely feel like the new episodes will just air on Nickelodeon. I think that's where I'm gonna stick to. I could be wrong. I'll be more than happy to be wrong in regards to that. If Netflix wants to give me an episode 12 before Nickelodeon reaches that, I'm game for it. But if we don't get an announcement in Power Month, then I'm expecting episode 12 to drop first on Nickelodeon here for us. One of my followers on Twitter told me that Hasbro is actually turning into a union show. Half of the Dino Fury cast and production crew are part of the unions. What does this tell you about Power Rangers in the future? Um, I think for me at least, this tells me that they are opening up their range for actors all across the board to be able to portray some of these roles. Um, which would make sense with them going bigger, doing more adult themed stuff. You're probably going to have a little bit more popular actors kind of stepping up into those particular roles, and they're probably all part of the union. Again, I don't know how trustworthy the follower is on Twitter that told you that, but it wouldn't surprise me. It just would not surprise me if they've got all these things in store. Whether or not production sticks at New Zealand or they move production, who certainly knows. But I think if you are trying to bring in some more well-known actors to be upcoming Rangers, whether that be in a movie, a TV series, you probably want to have more flexibility with who you can and sort of can't bring on. And if the idea of not being unionized is hurting them there, then they probably want to go ahead and be be a part of the union. It gives your talent security to know that they're going to be taken care of if anything certainly happens, and is probably just a larger pool of actors for people to for them to get into. Brian Lee did have one other question. He says, "Is Kamen Rider Revised Episode 1 will be review from Stuart on APlus Morphinominal and YouTube channel start in September. Whenever episode 1 drops, yeah, Stuart will be doing the review. I've been pretty adamant here that for me myself, when it comes to Kamen Rider Revice, I do not speak about it here on this channel, APlus Morphinominal, or any of my other videos that I'm recording and doing. So I will not be doing Revice. If anything, I have been talking with Stuart. We probably will put some sort of disclaimer at the beginning that we do not agree with the practices of so and so in regards to his racist depiction of blackface or whatever the case may be. Who certainly knows? But we will be putting the disclaimer up before our videos. Stuart wants to do it, so I'm going to allow him the platform to be able to do it. But yeah, I don't really talk about it too much here. But Revice, yeah, if you do want your Revice episodes, Stuart will be bringing those to you guys. Johnny Marrero's got 3 questions. Are you excited about Power Ranger Universe, and is it possible to see stories on other Rangers besides the Phantom Rangers from the new comic? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so, Johnny. That's one of the reasons that made me scratch my head when they called it a limited series, that I was going to focus on Phantom Ranger, but then Daphne says this gives us the opportunity to explore other Rangers and other mysteries and origins behind Power Ranger teams and their powers and stuff. That made me feel like, oh, okay, so this is an opportunity to kind of step away from the Mighty Morphin and Omega Ranger kind of crew. Then this might open the door for other seasons like RPM to certainly be told more in comic book form. Maybe more Ninja Storm for all we know. So I'm hoping that that's the key. Maybe the first, I wonder if I do wonder if the Phantom Rangers story encompasses multiple different Power Rangers teams, and they pop up in this limited series. But a part of me would like to see them make this as an ongoing series and be able to put more Rangers in there. So I do think other Rangers will be highlighted at some point in time. It'll just be interesting to see if the Phantom Ranger is the entirety of this limited series, or if there's other Rangers included in the story going forward. Again, it's not going to be dropping until December, so I'm hoping by then we have a little bit more clarity. What do you think? What do you think we will hear in regards to Power Ranger news from Hasbro PulseCon this October? Probably more Dino Fury stuff. I think the A Games 10 made a great idea here, and maybe allowing us to see the opening theme with Ion's character. It wouldn't surprise me if there's like a clip or a preview of the next Dino Fury sort of episodes for them to go forward on. So I am expecting some Dino Fury teases. With toy stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if more Lightning Collection, more Dino Fury toys and Zords and things like that were in fact revealed. And I'm thinking brief sort of movie news to be revealed also. Again, maybe a rough release date, like month and year, but not an exact date as of yet. Maybe a brief synopsis or plot idea for the movie itself, and maybe just I wouldn't mind like a little sit down video from Jonathan Entwistle to explain just exactly what he's working on, how he plans on connecting some of these movies and television series and things like that together, without necessarily giving us plot details, but just a little bit of a clarity of the world that he's kind of building. And then maybe I think somebody even referenced the idea of like, can we get like a where it's going to be released at, like in theaters or on a streaming service? Maybe an announcement of that would happen too. So yeah, those are just some of the things that I'm hoping that we get. Do you think we can expect news on a possible TMNT MMPR sequel comic? I was kind of hopeful for that in the first week of Power Month, but I'm getting less and less sure about it. I do wonder. I mean, I still think that there's more time that they can announce it, but I'm starting to get worried that maybe it was in fact just going to be a one-off, which is a little bit of a bummer. I mean, maybe they'll trickle out the Lightning Collection design first, right? Like maybe that'll go out of the way, and then once that's released, and they see maybe the sales from it, maybe then they'll go ahead and make an announcement. So maybe an announcement sometime down the line, but for the remainder of Power Month, probably not. Probably not. Let's see here. Last set of questions from Adam Perea. If Power Rangers were to ever be an animated series, would you like it to be in the style of Marvel's What Ifs or an or any other animated series that you've seen? Um, well, I will say this. Formula wise, I would like it to be different from Marvel's What If. Like, I don't want the storytelling to be every episode is sort of like a what if of a Power Ranger team. That's not necessarily what I want from just the format of the show. If anything, I would still like to see it like an anthology sort of series, maybe 2 or 3 episodes focus on one Power Ranger team, and you just jump to several different ones as you're exploring. And then maybe eventually have a big crossover event. Who certainly knows? That's kind of what I would like to see for like an anthology for animated. As far as like the animated style itself, I'm a big fan of the What If series animation. Um, I don't know how I feel about it as for Power Rangers. So I probably would say no. Animation style, while I like it, I feel like it's very proper for the What If series. I don't know if I want that same What If animation style for Power Rangers, though. If anything, maybe give me something like the artist that did Voltron for Netflix. I would be completely on board with that. I mean, heck, I've seen some really great animation from people of just drawing stuff on like Twitter. I would love to see some of their designs kind of become in more animation and movement form. So maybe not What If, but I definitely maybe something along the lines of a Voltron. I would eat up, honestly. We've had some bad seasons when it comes to Power Rangers and Super Sentai. Which of them do you recall have had good premieres or bad premieres? If you can't answer this, my backup question is: did anything new come out of Power Month or more of the same? Um, Good premieres. I thought Gokaiger had a pretty good premiere. I thought Karamazers was a pretty good premiere. I can't remember Go Busters. Um, your backup question: did anything new come out of Power Month or more of the same? I mean, more Lightning Collection stuff. We did get a ton more Lightning Collection stuff. The TMNT Power Ranger figures that we wind up getting. A part of me was really hoping, like, I'm surprised that they didn't pull the trigger on the other half of that crossover in the Power Rangers sort of ninjutsu or ninja gears, like street ninja gears. I really would have loved to have seen that. The Ninjetti stuff was pretty new. But again, more figures. I feel like it's been mostly figures leading the way for Power Month, more so than actual announcements in regards to other things. Although we've got Day of Destiny, the RPG game that I believe winds up beginning next week, or I believe it begins next week. So we got that to look forward to also. So yeah, week 2 was a little bit of a bummer, more retro figures. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. When you watch team ups from older seasons of Power Rangers, do you wish we had the same quality again? Yeah, I do. Some of them have really good pacing and episodes feel long, even if only for one episode. Why do you think we stopped getting 2-part episodes for team ups? That's a good question. I was always a big fan of the two-parter. I just think it just helps the storyline breathe, and it just allows everybody to kind of have a little bit more shine. I think they should go back to the two-parter aspect if they ever do crossovers again. But I do miss them. Their quality was just so much better than some of the stuff that we're getting now. I don't know why that is, but I definitely do wish that we had the same quality for sure. All right. I think if anything, and Brian Lee does have one last question. In 2023, which Sentai adaptation do you want in Power Rangers future? Pick one for 2023. Well, if we do get adaptions, I'm probably gonna go Kara Major first, um, Q Ranger second, and give me Zoosier third. But that would be my list. If we do get Sentai adaptions, that's the direction I will want. Kara Major, Q Ranger, and then Zoosier. All right, guys, and I believe with that out of the way, that will wrap up all of our live viewer questions for the day, guys. If anything, I'll jump into. I've got a couple minutes left. I will jump into the comments section, see if there's anything in particular that I might have missed. Adam, he says, are you still watching Zenkaiger? How is it this week? Do they honor or homage past Sentai Rangers? Um, yes, they do honor and homage past Sentai Rangers. Sometimes they'll utilize their Sentai gears, which Zenkaiser and the rest of his team can use power ups from past Super Sentai teams. You'll even get a brief glimpse of the team itself. They have also dabbled it a little bit in regards to the Zords as well, paying homage to past mechas and things like that. Like the Zenkaiju O is a great homage to the V Rex from Time Ranger. So they definitely are. So yeah, I am still watching Zenkaiger. Some days are easier than others. As for what it was like this past week, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it this week. I thought the Kaido and Stay Caesar stuff was on point. Really loved the seriousness in which it kind of took itself. A little underwhelmed though in regards to the buildup of a Kaido versus Stacy battle, and we barely get a one-on-one battle, like hand-to-hand combat. It kind of turns into just like a big brawl at the end of the day. But solid and fun episode to say the least. Didn't live up to my expectations, but it was an episode I certainly enjoy. But it has its hits and miss moments. Hits and miss moments. Power Rangers Range Ready says, do you think Jordan Fight's morph sequence will be the same as everybody else or a little bit different for the Sixth Ranger? I'm hoping it's different. I'm hoping it's a little bit different for the Sixth Ranger. More lightning bolts for sure. Thanks for the reminder here, Blossom. Speaking of Kamen Rider, the last episode of Saber is tomorrow. I'm going to need a buttload of tissues. I'll miss them all, especially Toma. So, yeah, I believe it probably is aired already, the finale this weekend. But if anything, Stuart will have his review for the finale this week. Brian Lee says, I hope Hasbro and Toei don't split. I'm sure you're not the only one. Trust me, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that certainly don't want them to. Who knows? Maybe they don't split and they just don't use Sentai footage anymore, right? Maybe there's a new deal that Hasbro and Toei puts together that's more behind the scenes. Like, we still have the rights to utilize past and future Sentai costumes, but we're just going to go with all original footage now. There's also a possibility of that, or it's a possibility of Hasbro and Toei wanting to split and them just do all original concepts and ideas certainly going forward. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a possibility. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Everything is certainly still up in the air. The idea of no longer using Sentai footage for me, I feel like, again, which direction I lean. I mean, I do not mind the idea of Hasbro and Toei certainly splitting. I think it just removes creative handcuffs from both companies. And again, I don't think that they have an issue with one another. I think they've been working just fine together. I think it's maybe just an idea of their companies wanting to go different routes and do new things or brand new things with their properties. So we'll see what happens, what type of announcements we get to kind of further explain what's really going on with Hasbro and Toei. But I think if anything, you can look at that topic still in any way But I'm still leaning my direction here. So we'll see what happens though. We'll see what happens. Power Rangers Ready says, "Do you still think that theory of Void Knight and Centaur being long lost parents?" Look, I will say this: I do not mind that theory at all. I do not mind that theory at all. If it comes to fruition, I'm that's going to be fine with me. Um, I feel like it's almost too in our face already to be that. Um, or I hope if it is that, I'm hoping it's not as simple as it's fleshed out to be. I mean, the fact of her grandfather working at area, was it 62, 61, 69? I can't remember. That doesn't mean that, like, hey, my stepson worked here and that that's her parents, right? That it just means that homeboys work several different places and some shady looking places. Maybe he knows more information than we certainly do. But I don't know if that area is uh connected to Amelia's parents just because Pop Pop worked there. Could the theory be true? Absolutely. If it is true, that's one hell of a that I would one hell of a uh finale to a storyline. But because of the fact that it feels so out there and so obvious, I'm hoping that's not the case. Or if it is the case, there's a lot more mystery sort of involved. But I'm okay with the theory. I think the theory is solid. Um, you're just gonna have to give me more to that storyline to explain itself. I want to see the journey of how that's possible. So I would be cool with that. And that could still be playing a role, right? I mean, it wouldn't take away from my theory of Precious having made a deal maybe with if Amelia's father is in fact Void Knight to kind of bring back his wife or whatever the case may be. Maybe they've been changed. Maybe in order to bring Amelia's mom back, if that is Amelia's mom, like maybe he made a deal with Precious. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I'm just throwing stuff out there to maybe try and connect both theories, but I have no idea right now at this point. So Rob, that's a great one too. Maybe they could show for the Forever Red thing with Shane. He says maybe they could show that a student Shane had trained took up the mantle of the Wind Ranger. That would be another great one, Sarav. I would be completely open to that. Power Rangers Ready says enter and escape indeed miles better than Blaze and Roxy. I did like that they used their keys to make monsters out of objects and a random laptop enter always walked around with. Yeah, enter and escape, I think for me, better in regards to Blaze and Roxy. But listen, Blaze and Roxy owned season one. I loved Roxy in this season. They did a remarkable job. I think if they had continued along with that path with Blaze and Roxy into season two, it might have been able to give Enter and Escape even more problems. You know what I mean? Definitely more stiff competition. So I don't want to take anything away from Blaze and Roxy because I love them, and I'm not gonna act like I did not care about them. I thought they were incredible. But yeah, the fact of how Enter and Escape were utilized the entirety of Go Busters, definitely. Power Rangers says Amelia did say episode 9 that Ollie was adorable, but that could mean anything. Yeah, that can easily mean anything. She said, I don't know. Ollie's cool and all, but he and Amelia is a bad idea personally. Hey, opposites attract. That's all I'm saying. Opposites tend to attract. Adam. He says, sorry, Adam, sucks that some a-hole ruined Kamen Rider advice for you. I know you were really upset. Oh man, super upset. And I think for me, what really upsets me too is the fact that I was really looking forward to watching this season, guys. Like I was really looking forward to it. The aesthetics look great, the costume designs look incredible. The synopsis sounded really fun, if you ask me. The idea that they had a new writer that was kind of coming on board that doesn't really have any connections to past tokusatsu seasons really fascinated me. But again, just the blindness of not realizing that one of your actors in here portrayed blackface like not too long ago, and not coming out and apologizing for it. Again, I'm not trying to cancel the guy. If he had come out and apologized and understood the error of his ways, then maybe I would feel some type of way about it and actually give the series a chance. And so while I'm allowing Stuart to certainly watch it, for my sake alone, and just for my integrity, like I cannot watch that show for somebody who's blind to the idea of what they did was certainly wrong. And so for me, yeah, I'm really upset. I'm really upset, not just by what he did, but just the fact that I can't watch it as a fan of Kamen Rider. I just don't want to put my own personal support behind that. So a little fucking sucks. It does suck. Adam also says, do you think Power Morphicon 2022 in person could happen? We know we currently going through Delta. I think so. I think so. I think if anything, as long as another variant doesn't pop up out of Delta that tends to be even worse, then yeah, I would assume by 2022 we got this shit stomped out in regards to Delta. I mean, I feel like Delta cases are rising, but I think people are going out there and getting their vaccine a little bit more. So I think people understand the need for it. So that hopefully we do get Power Morphicon in person. If not, if we are in the same place, like a similar place next year, I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing vaccine requirements, having your paperwork ready to kind of show the proof that you've been vaccinated, and opening it up like New York City Comic Con. They're going to be having in-person convention this year, and the only way to go ahead and get into it is you got to show proof of vaccination. So I think if this continues into 2022, if the Delta keeps surging, if there's another sort of mutation to it, and we've got another variant that comes out of this, maybe they might lock shit down. But I feel like maybe they'll start doing more requirements for vaccination IDs, and then we can have it in person. So I'm still very much expecting Power Morphicon 2022 to happen in person. So Rob says, it's I think it's time Power Rangers broaden its definition of diversity beyond racial representation. I mean, I definitely do think that they have. We Power Rangers 2017 is a perfect example of that. Bisexual Yellow Ranger in Trini, and then we had RJ Seiler, who was on the autism spectrum. So they definitely are branching out, not just race wise, for sure. Whether or not that makes it into the television shows, we'll definitely see. Power Rangers, a great point too. Reddy says could also help Union veteran Rangers come back a little bit easier. Just have to pay them to fly to New Zealand if Power Rangers continues to film there for the TV series. Absolutely, it opens up a plethora of opportunities. Adam Perea says, "Do you feel like the writers for the recent crossovers only care about how much they can cram instead of quality? 25th anniversary, no exception. Felt like JDF asked a bomb for it to be a Tommy show." Yeah, I mean, I almost wonder like if they weren't under Nickelodeon, I almost feel like the writers probably would have made them a two-part crossover event or a two-parter to help them breathe. There is a part of me that wonders if that's because of Nickelodeon and how they have their their episodes formatted or want them to format their episodes. I almost feel like if it was any other location that they were at, it might have been a two-part episode. So I don't necessarily wouldn't blame the writers for it so much as I think just the formula that Nickelodeon has that possibly. So Rob says, do you think Kara Major would be better adapted as an animated series for Power Rangers? Um, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing it as live action. I think it could probably work as live action if they wanted to. If I was going to do an animated series, though, if they truly are worried about, say, like the toys for Q Ranger, if that was really an issue, maybe Q Ranger with such a vast number of cast members, maybe that might work a little bit better as animated series because you do have alien creatures in there. It is more of a space theme. That might work more in the realm of animated, but I think Caramager could be live action adapted. I would take either, but I would rather see Caramager adapted, maybe Q Ranger more animated form. If I had to select one into more animated form. Baby Don Don, what's up, baby? Coming through says, how are Go Ranger and Decker Ranger? And shout out to Cross Z. Have you watched Go Kaiser versus Gavin? I believe I have watched Go Kaiser versus Gavin when it initially first aired. I haven't watched it in years, so I believe people have been suggesting that I might do Go Kaiser versus Gavin. Um, on our channel at some point in time. Because even though I have wrapped up the reactions for Go Kaiser, I don't believe I tackled all the movies. So I that might be something that I eventually do get to eventually cross Z. As far as how are Go Ranger and Decker Ranger, Go Ranger, I'm having a lot of fun with, man. It's a long series. I'm in like the 50s right now, and I think it's only about 80, 81 episodes. So it definitely has like a season feel to it with 40 plus episodes each season. But it's been fun. It's actually really been fun getting to see how the show has progressed in regards to its growth from its production, the changes that it's made over the season or so. The strength of its storytelling getting better, the upgrades and the weaponry and stuff. It's been pretty fun. Like some of the characters really stand out to me. Kaiju as Aqua Ranger's brilliant. I've really enjoyed Peggy as Momo Ranger. She's phenomenal in here. Dida, who plays the Yellow Ranger, took me some getting used to, but he's a great sort of comedy element to it. That really kind of gets the Go Rangers into situations they probably shouldn't find themselves in from time to time. So they does have some fun characters, especially when I get the opportunity to kind of transplant my brain from a more modern version of Super Sentai that I watch weekly to then see how they did some of their stuff way back in the day. Is hella fun to me, and just trying to see how some Super Sentai and Power Ranger tropes started back 40 plus years ago that still to this day play integral role, like um seeing our Go Rangers jump into battle, right? The idea, classic Power Rangers, of seeing them, doing flips across the screen, the whole entire team sort of thing. Even seeing something like that implemented very early on in Go Ranger, or the close-up shots or the personal roll calls and stuff. It's incredible to see what's lasted over such a long period of time, and really what's adapted and stuff. So for me, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm eager to certainly wrap up the season so I can add an additional Super Sentai exclusive season to our patron. But I'm pumped, man. I've really enjoyed both seasons. And in regards to Decker Ranger, I'm 4 episodes into it, and I've really enjoyed the mystery. I've enjoyed the detective work. I'm actually a big fan of the team's chemistry, or maybe lack thereof, from time to time. The concept of this rookie, reckless Red being thrusted into a well oiled machine, and to kind of see how that kind of all works out has been pretty fun. I'm digging the concept of two-part stories that really allow the series to kind of the stories itself to breathe, because not only do you now get further emphasis on the main characters, but even side characters, whether that be how their stories are resolved, what their background stories are like. It adds to a lot of fun. So 3 episodes in, I'm really enjoying it, guys. I'm really enjoying it. All right, guys. And then last question here. Do you think Morphine Masters have more plans later in Dino Fury? Absolutely. I do not think we've seen the last of the Morphine Masters. I certainly expect them to pop up once again in another big reveal at some particular point in time. But all right, guys. Other than that, I think that's going to go ahead and do it for us here. So thank you so much, guys, for all your questions, participating in the live chat, submitting your questions over each and every week. Is definitely great to go ahead and pick your guys' brains and having great discussion with you, whether that be in regards to your questions or all the topics that we certainly talked about today, guys. But listen, also remember, if you have been joining us in our live chat, if you continue to love the content that we push out each and every week for you guys, do us a favor, hit that like button before you guys depart. It certainly does go a long way. And also feel free to leave a comment in the comment section after this video airs. Certainly helps the algorithm as well in regards to more viewership. And if you continue to love our content, do us a big favor, subscribe to our channel, hit that bell notification also, just to make sure that when we do drop brand new videos, you guys will certainly be notified. But other than that, guys, that's going to do it for us here. Again, we got Ultraman Trigger episode 5 review coming for you guys this weekend. Look out for that. And then, of course, we have our Kamen Rider Saber finale review on Toku Tuesday. So check that out. And of course, Zenkaiger as well, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, for our Patreon supporters, more Go Rangers, more Decker Ranger. Look out for that. Oh, and probably dropping Dino Vader episode 1 here on our YouTube page once I actually wind up getting myself some English subtitles for it. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted with great new content for the remainder of the week. But if anything, feel free to always join us next Saturday, going live at noon Central Time every weekend for APlus Morphinominal. But until then, guys, do me a big favor. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And as always, keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. If you enjoy our content and want to be a part of helping our channel grow, become a patron supporter. We have affordable tiers to choose from that offer a variety of exclusive and early access content, from audio files for all of our shows for you to enjoy on the road, access to our Discord community, and plenty of reactions, reviews, character breakdowns, and more. Check us out at patreon.com/aplusopinions. And as always, remember, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so anytime we drop a brand new video, you will be notified.